Okay, we go. All right. Okay, we are live right now. Live from the village right now. It is 2 minutes past 8 p.m. right now on the 17th of January 2022 right now. This is the second live stream of 2022 that I'm doing, but the first movie night of 2022. Let me move some stuff in the background, make myself a little bit more presentable. Let me put that over there, somewhere there. There we go. Put it over there for a bit. But yeah, we are live, man. About to watch Flight of the Living Dead, Outbreak 17. This is a movie that I watched. It was recommended. Yo, Alan Evans is in the house right now. How's it going for you? It's going quite well for me. I haven't cut my hair for a while though. I'm just noticing you can actually see my grays. I usually cut my hair like approximately every 2 to 3 days. I think the last time I cut my hair was maybe about 4 or 5 days ago now. And I'm noticing, yeah, you could probably see my grays. I feel like usually my hair is quite low, so you can't tell that I've got grey hair. Not that it's a secret or anything. I think it's people know, but you can't usually tell from the camera. But I think it's at a point where it's long enough where you can actually see that my hair is grey or greyer. Like I've still got some black. But quite a few greys around the side and on the top. You could probably tell from the camera now because my hair is getting a bit long. It is what it is, man. But yeah, you're right. That's right. Yeah, you know what? It's been a while. So Sam has been first in the chat. I think for the last, I'm not counting, but the last few at least anyway. The last few live stream chats, Sam's been first. Now Alan is back to reclaim his crown. That's the first one in the chat. Big up Alan Evans. Big up everybody in the chat right now. Whether you're talking or stalking, I appreciate you all. But yeah, we're about to watch Flight of the Living Dead. This one's a little bit different because this one's actually on YouTube, which means I should be able to just show the video on screen and not have any real issues with like copyrights and whatnots and that kind of thing. Hopefully that's the case at least anyway. I guess we'll find out. But it looks like there's no restrictions on this, so should hopefully be fine. But yo, Sam's in the house. Wagwan, Sam. The crown is mine. Let's see, there's probably a crown emoji in here somewhere. Let's see here, crown. There we go. But how's everybody doing, man? It is the first movie night of 2022. I'm about to watch Flight of the Living Dead. I actually watched this movie a few weeks ago. Sam, I know you've seen this before because you don't recommend it to me. So there's that. Adam, I'm not sure if you've seen this before or not, but if you haven't, well, I'm not going to say you're in for a treat. It's a, well, it is what it is. But anyway, about to watch. It's an hour and a half, hour, 29 minutes and 49 seconds. You know what? Let me say something real quick. And I might make a video on this just to kind of flesh out my thoughts a little bit. But it's actually been on my mind a little bit lately. I don't know if y'all saw this. I'm doing good, just chilling, awesome. But there's a young lady by the name of Molly May, who is a Instagram influencer. She was on a show called, what's it called? Fame? No, that's not what it's called. The one, Love Island, that's just going to call it Love Island. Didn't recommend it, never seen it. Oh, you didn't recommend it? Okay, who recommended this to me then? Somebody recommended it. I sure it was you, Sam. Okay, apparently not. So who recommended this to me then? Somebody recommended Flight of the Living Dead. And because it's a horror movie, I kind of assumed you did it, Sam. But somebody recommended it to me, and that much I'm sure of. Oh, who recommended it to me? It might have been Ken, actually. Now I'm thinking about it, Ken might have recommended this one. My bad, I'm sorry. I'm getting my recommendeds mixed up. But somebody recommended this to me. That much I'm pretty sure. Somebody recommended this to me. And I watched it a little while ago. But, well, I guess you haven't seen it then. And, well, I'm about to see it now. Alright, not too bad. Awesome. It could have been Brax. It might have been Brax, yeah. Possibly. I know Braxton actually recommended a few moves that I wrote down, that I've got written down. Mississippi Burning, Ghosts of Mississippi, Rosewood. So I'm pretty sure you recommend those ones. So yeah, I'm thinking either Brax or Ken recommended Fly to Living Dead. I'm sorry guys, I mixed up my recommendations. I'm sorry. But yeah, this lady Molly May, who's been in the news lately, like, she got a lot of backlash because she did an interview, and where she said that she said a bunch of stuff in the interview, but the main things that got her in trouble were, she said that everybody has the same 24 hours in a day as Beyonce, and she said that she's worked hard to get to where she is. And I don't know much about Molly May. I'm not following her like that. But when I saw that clip, I was kind of thinking, I mean, that's the type of thing that loads of people say, right? You have the same 24 hours in a day as whichever celebrity, and, you know, and working hard as this, that, and the other. So I wasn't really sure why people were so mad at her for saying something that pretty much everybody else says, right? And I ended up listening to the whole interview that she did. It was actually quite interesting, when she's talking about, you know, her upbringing and her journey and everything else. And like I said, I don't know much about it, so I'm not following her like that. So for me, it's kind of like I'm learning all this for the first time. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe people have the impression that she's probably just some dumb bimbo. And it turns out that she's not some dumb bimbo, that she actually is reasonably intelligent at the very least. I don't know if she's a genius, I don't know that, but can't tell from one interview, right? But she seems to have a pretty decent head on her shoulders, right? And I feel like maybe people are just mad that she isn't this kind of image that people kind of think she is. Like, I feel like when you go on a show like Love Island, which although I've never watched, I have to specify I've never watched that show. Don't embarrass me. But I know a little bit about the show, and I feel like if you go on a show like that, maybe, you know, people just think, oh, you're pretty, or you're this, and everything's handed to you. And I guess people want to think that you just had everything handed to you and you haven't had to do anything for it. And that's what they want to hear from you, that you just dumb bimbo that just had everything given to them and never lifted a finger in your life. But as it turns out, you know, has worked hard to get to where she is, at least, you know, from the interview that I'm watching. You know, she didn't come from like big money, but I think it's fair to say she wasn't exactly poor growing up. But, you know, pretty regular kind of family she has come growing up. So it's not necessarily starting from right at the bottom, right? But at the same time, it's, you know, it's not starting at the top either. Like, yeah, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. And I feel like when as I'm listening to the interview, at least from my perspective, I feel like she seems to understand that not everybody starts in the same position. I think she seems to have an understanding that she's, you know, in a position of privilege compared to some other people in terms of, you know, where your journey starts and how much you want things and working towards stuff. She seems to have a good understanding of that. So it just seemed odd, like, people so mad at her for, like, doing the best she can with the position that she's in. And I just feel like, I don't know, man, it just seems weird to me that of all the things you can get angry at, you're angry at somebody who's taken advantage of their position, you know, understands that not everybody's in that same position, but they've taken advantage of the things that are available to them, you know, created opportunities for themselves and, you know, did the best they could with it. Like, I don't see why that's a bad thing. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think people need to get a life and stop being upset over every little thing. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think that is the truth. If there ever was truthful words spoken, that be it. Stop getting upset over every little thing, and perhaps, you know, take Molly May's advice. We all got 24 hours in a day to do the best she can, and perhaps if we did that, we wouldn't be so mad about Molly May doing the best she can with her 24 hours. Like, maybe people just like, well, hey, you know what? I've got 8 hours to sleep. I've got 12 hours, or say 8 hours to go to my job. That leaves me, I don't know, however many hours to do whatever else. And then I'm going to use that time to work towards the things that I'm trying to manifest in this world, you know. So yeah. But yeah, there's been a lot happening lately over the last few weeks that I might need to make a video on, because it's kind of been on my mind a little bit. And especially now that they're not sort of trending anymore, because I feel like, I mean, I don't have a problem with jumping on trending topics, but I do sometimes feel like when it's right in the thick of it, I'd rather not, especially when it's like, you know, you kind of need to recognize that maybe I need to read a bit more about these things before I jump on, try and make a video on it. You know what I mean? So like now that not trending so much, I might put up a few videos with a few thoughts of a few things that have been happening in the last few weeks. I just might do that. I just might. I think people need to stop putting each other down. Or the aim very, yeah, that's true too. We need to stop putting each other down. People don't like seeing people doing well instead of improving their own lives. They want to tear others down. It's boring. It just seems weird to me. It's like somebody like, who, I mean, anybody who gets some kind of like fame. I mean, you have to believe. Well, you don't have to believe, but I mean, typically it's because they have a large amount of people that like what they do, right? And of course, not everybody's going to like everything. I get that. That's fine. You don't have to like everything. But when you find that, you know, somebody's doing their thing, they're not hurting nobody. They're not like doing anything like bad. You know, at least as far as I can tell, she ain't doing anything bad. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she secretly sacrifices mice or something. I don't know. But at least on the outset, it doesn't look like she's doing anything particularly bad, or at least anything, you know, too egregious or whatever. She's just kind of living her life, doing her thing, doing what she can. And, you know, there's clearly a lot of people who like what she does and are fans of hers, right? And that's one of the reasons why she's been famous and, you know, had a lot of success. But then it seems like it just comes along with, like, people who, like you say, they just don't seem to like to see somebody doing well. And it's just such a weird thing. Like, at what point in your life do you realize that there's something that you don't like? And rather than, you know, going towards the things that you do like, you'd rather focus your entire energy on somebody else having a good time to try and bring them down, all the while you could be just doing the thing that you like and not bothering with them. You know what I mean? I feel like people just make themselves miserable for no good reason. I don't know what the answer is, but there's definitely, well, a lot of us need therapy. I think that much true. A lot of us need therapy. But yeah. I mean, it's true to say that, yeah, we don't all have the same starting positions. Like, some of us start here, some of us start there, you know. Some of us work hard our whole lives and die before we ever make it to any kind of good position. But I feel like as long as you are doing the best you can each time, and maybe the best you can is only this much, and maybe the best someone else can is this much, and maybe some days you can do this much, but as long as you're doing the best you can, you know, I think that's what more can you ask for. You just keep doing the best you can, as much as you can, for as long as you can, and see what happens. Yo, what up, JT? People just like moaning and hating innocuous stuff. Yep. This is the truth, man. This is the truth. I don't like reality TV. I don't give it any of my time or the stars, so I give my attention to it. I don't sit and bitch about it. Indeed, I don't bother that stuff too much. Well, at all, really. I mean, the only time I ever watched reality TV actually was years ago when Big Brother started. Like, this is back in, like, I guess, I don't know whenever Big Brother started, like late 90s, I think, I want to say, or around about then, maybe 2000s. But I remember, like, the first season of Big Brother. I remember watching that. And it was, I mean, I think everybody watched it then because it was new. It wasn't the first, I don't think, but it was certainly one of the biggest, the first like sort of made that reality TV concept really popular. But so I remember watching the first season of that, or quite a lot of the first season of that, and afterwards it's kind of like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to. I feel like once you've seen it, yeah, there's not really much to go back to, but I mean, clearly lots of people like it, and that's their thing, right? I mean, I'm not here to tell people what they can and cannot like. If you find some kind of nasty neck, yeah, that guy. I wonder what he's doing now, actually. Let me look that up real quick before we start this movie. It is movie night, by the way, guys. We're all going to watch a movie tonight, but we're just having a little chat before we start the movie. Yeah, let's see what happens to nasty neck. Let's see if we can find out. What was I saying again? But yeah, I mean, clearly a lot of people enjoy it, so, you know, good for them, right? I mean, I'm not going to tell people what they cannot like, but, you know, if you get something from it, cool. But if you decide you don't like it, yeah, you watch something else. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Nick Bateman, television personality. Nicholas Bateman, born 1967, also known as Nasty Nick, is a British media personality and contestant on the first series of the British version of Big Brother. What's he doing now, though? Okay, let's see if we can find more specific. What is he? Oh, it's down here. Where's Nasty Nick now? Okay, this is 21 years later. This is as of December 2021. I don't accept anything from the Mirror. There we go. Don't want nothing from that. Alright, so Big Brother's Nick Bateman caused quite a stir when he was years ago. When he was labelled Nasty Nick, but what has he done since? The villain of the house appeared on the show back in 2000, where he pinned house mates against each other, but soon got caught out. However, despite being one of the most controversial people to ever go on the show, he never actually received any nominations against him to be evicted. I think was caught out by producers of the show, who then let the others know what was really going on. He just played the game, man. He just played the game. Whether he was eventually confronted for his actions by Craig Phillips, who then went on to win the entire series. He spoke to the next on behalf of the group. Day 35, which blah 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 blah. Okay, so now 54-year-old decided to move countries in 2013 and is now living in Sydney, Australia, where he is working as a freelance writer. Okay, so he's a freelance writer now. He went from pitting people against each other to being a freelance writer. So he's over in Sydney, Australia. So I guess he's doing all right then. And well, I guess it depends what he's writing about. Actually, I suppose maybe he's writing about some. Maybe his writings are very divisive, and he's pitting people against each other in his works. I don't know. I guess I have to ask the Strains about that. I just want to go see. Oh right, yeah. How was Scream? Yeah, well, I guess you just answered that question. That Scream was pretty good then. We're about to watch a horror movie. I don't think it's horror movies as I've not seen Scream, but I'm gonna guess the horror movie we're about to watch is not as good as Scream. So I don't want anybody getting their hopes up. You know, just in case. I don't want nobody getting their hopes up, because what we're about to watch, I've seen it. I'll say it is mildly entertaining. But yeah, it's probably not as good as pretty much. I mean, look, you could throw a rock at you can put your hand in a bin full of DVDs, blindfolded, and randomly pick out a movie that's probably going to be better than this. That's what time it is with this one. So let's move up to this screen, or this scream. Wait. And let's see what we got here. But yeah, this one's on YouTube, so this time I should be able to just play the movie and let y'all see it. I believe this is a public domain film, so we shouldn't have too many issues while showing it. So yeah, let's press play. 1 hour 29 minutes. Here we go. Let's watch it again as soon as it finished. So yeah, it's good. Oh, awesome. I've not seen Peacemaker. No, actually only recently watched oh, by the way, let me know if, oh wait, there we go. Yeah, let me know if all the sounds are coming through okay, by the way. Let me know that all the audio and that kind of stuff is coming through fine. Or if not, well, if not, let me know. But no, I haven't seen the new Peacemaker. No, I did watch The Suicide Squad recently, though, with John Cena, which I really liked, actually. I really liked that movie. But no, I've not seen Peacemaker. I've had kind of mixed opinions on it, though. I do want to say it, but I don't think they're showing it in the UK. Like it's on, I know it's on HBO Max in America, but we don't get HBO Max over here, which is a real shame. It might be on Sky Now or one of these things. I have to double check actually. But yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, or has anybody seen it? And if so, what y'all think of Peacemaker? The man who would eat a bag of dicks for peace. Sounds good to me. Plain dead. You know, let me move this mouse over here so I'm not messing around things too much. Oh, by the way, if the image, let me start again. If the movie image looks a little bit 1990. That's the video. That's just the video.
Did you hear something about the weather front? Yeah, these things used to bother me. The weather?
No, that we're going to be delayed getting into Paris.
Please tell me you plan on getting some sleep tonight.
Oh, I can promise you we'll be better.
Emily, why didn't you go out with us? It'll be so fun.
Paris at night. The Champs-Élysées. The clubs. The mimosas.
I really enjoyed the first step, probably better than WandaVision. Okay, Hawkeye's still better though, I see. You think they'll do more of these things? Because Marvel are going harder on the series, you know, WandaVision, Hawkeye, Loki, what else? Falcon the Winter Soldier. You know, they've done loads and they've got more to come. So you feel like DC are going to do the same sort of thing with their series, like start with Peacemaker and like just go hard with a lot of them.
I'm not sure I want to know. It's like all the signatures check out, so we are free.
I mean, to be fair, DC already do have a bunch of series out already, but none of them are really connected to the movies. Peacemaker, I think, is the first one that DC have done that's actually connected to the films.
Cargo area.
Abnormalities?
We're to contact Dr. Bennett and Dr. Sebastian. These were the guys that secured the cargo. They're in first class.
Abnormalities.
I'm glad this is my last flight.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting a message. We detected copyrighted audio and video in your stream. Your stream may be temporarily blocked. Okay, so there may be an issue with the stream. Damn it!
Lucas, you need to settle down. You're not listening. We could lose Kelly.
We'll see. I mean, this will be fine now.
You're making a scene here. I told you.
I'm getting a message saying that my stream may be temporarily blocked, but I think we're okay for the moment.
We all know this is highly unorthodox. We had to move quickly. This is our only way out. Unorthodox. Hey, she died. We saved her.
But we'll see how it goes.
She'd be dead.
If it does get blocked or something, I do have a backup. I do have a backup plan.
Your friend Kalinsky's made all the arrangements for the transport, and we'll see you in Prague. Prague? I thought we had a lab set up in Toronto.
Yeah, I think they have to compete. Their films are just so lackluster compared to MCU. 1 second, guys.
We will save loved ones. We will bring them back. It's why we all have sacrificed.
Kelly, you the risks going into this.
You know, that's easy for you to say.
Here we go. Yeah, I mean, it would be a good idea. I mean, were their films lackluster? I mean, yeah, I think that, yeah, that's probably fair to say. They're not. I mean, they've got some quality films. I think individually their films, like, are of a good quality. Well, some of them are, at least, anyway. But compared to what MCU doing and just you know, the whole kind of connected universe that Marvel managed to pull off, yeah, DC are nowhere close to that. And I know it's clear they're trying to do something like that, and it's just not coming. It's not working as well as they want it to. But yeah, I mean, a TV series, the thing could help with that. I mean, as well, assuming people buy into it, because of course it still needs to be a good show. So,
I'll take a rum and coke, please. Oh, sorry, girls.
bloody YouTube, for real, for real. If it cuts off, we'll know why.
Right.
It's got a message saying, it says heads up, we've detected audio, copyrighted audio and video on your stream. It may temporarily be blocked. That's what it just says. But it hasn't blocked it, so I think we're okay. Oh wait, there we go.
No, thank you.
All right, so oof. All right, I think we good. I think we good. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that there, so you guys click on that. That's the link to the video. In fact, that's the link to the timestamp on where I am on the video. So damn it. But yeah, looks like we have to do this the regular way. We can't show this one on screen. But yeah, look at, are you saying all them man show streaming like TV shows, animes, and they got this crappy movie from 2000, mate, come on, man. And it's on YouTube as well, by the way. This movie is on YouTube. You know what I mean? In fact, let me show you something real quick actually. If I could show you this. That's not what I want to do. There we go. Let me show you this. So this is actually on YouTube, this movie, right? And it's on a channel called Don Tran. So this is not like an official channel, you know what I mean? This is somebody just uploaded it. And apparently he uploads other stuff as well. But the point is, like, clearly it's fine. Like, it's not blocked. You know, and there's no, I don't know if you can tell, but when there's like copyright issues, they're marked in the description. Nothing here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna have to do this like this way. But yeah, if you click that link, that'll take you to the YouTube page where we can watch along. Let me know when you're ready. We're back. And then I press play. It's on 6 minutes and 15 seconds. But yeah, we back. We back and we rocking the mic. We had some technical difficulties, but we back now. We back. All right, when you're ready, I press play again. But yeah, 6 minutes and 15 seconds in, and then yeah, we'll hit that play button. But damn, man, I did hear about I did hear about, was it Twitch? I'm on 726. Okay. Well, Sam's ahead. Sam's like a minute ahead. I did hear about these streams on Twitch where they got, a lot of them got blocked, had copyright issues because people were streaming like entire like TV shows and movies and stuff like that. And technically, I guess I'm doing that as well, but I thought this was public domain. I actually thought this was public domain. I guess I was incorrect in that assumption, but this is not public domain, or at least not as I thought. But yeah. We got that notice, but we back now. We back now. All right. Everybody ready? I'm gonna hit the play button soon. Our flight was interrupted, but we shall be resuming shortly. A little bit of turbulence, but we should be resuming shortly. Disgusting Tales was banned for streaming Death Note, but he revealed on a YT vid recently he had a friend copyright strike him to make a point and scare people. Damn, that's just wrong. Alan's ready. Nice. That's just wrong. Why would you do that? Just to make a point? I mean, granted, probably shouldn't be streaming Death Note for sure. Like, I mean, real talk, probably should not be streaming Death Note. But then again, it's like, if they don't mind, like, why is his friend getting involved and making copyright claim strikes and whatever? It's like, bruh, taking the piss, man. Taking the piss. All right, if y'all are ready, then I'm gonna hit that play button. I'm gonna count down from 3, 2, 1, then play. So in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, that was the wrong button. There we go. Do you hear, speaking of copyright claims, you guys hear about these guys called what do they call it again? It's a podcast. Fresh and Fit, because they were issuing all these copyright claims and against all these other channels because they were doing reactions to their stuff, right? Reactions to their podcasts, and or more specifically, they were doing reactions to their podcasts and not saying nice things about them because, well, there's not much nice to say about them, to be honest. That's what it comes down to. But because people like cussing them out in their reactions, they decide to issue all these copyright claims. But it turns out you can't just copyright claim stuff. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but you can't just copyright claim stuff just because you don't like it. There has to be an actual violation, and there wasn't any real violations because it all come under fair use. So what ended up happening is that YouTube had to write back to the podcast, Fresh and Fit podcast, and tell them, yeah, you can't do this. Either provide actual evidence of a violation, or your channel could be terminated, is what the message said apparently. So yeah, don't issue false copyright claims. That's the moral of the story.
Summer vacation with the grandkids, and we're on a slow ocean cruise to Alaska. Just the two of us. Yeah, the ocean cruise may be difficult. It's such a nightmare.
Hey, that's great, right?
Thank you.
Looks bad ahead, huh?
Not to worry.
Karma indeed. Karma's a beat. Well, actually, no, karma.
So I can't wait to go
I don't know. I think Karma is a B in this one, actually. I think Karma did what Karma was supposed to do in this one, actually. I think Karma did exactly what she was supposed to do.
Oh yeah, we're going surfing. Good. Whoa, hey, Tony's my friend, alright? We're here surfing, you know that.
And hey, his girlfriend's a little bitch. And you know that.
What the hell is it?
But yeah, apparently Pokemon got banned from Twitch for streaming copyrighted material.
Hey, yo, Tom.
Pokemon. These guys are playing American football in a plane. Like, come on, dude.
Oh, it hurts to get stored on.
Pokemon, one of the biggest streamers in the entire world, got banned. I mean, that ban's probably been lifted now. I think it's probably over. I don't think it was a long ban, but still, she got banned for streaming copyrighted material. Nobody's safe. Yeah, that's kind of a... I mean, it's a short move. It's only an hour and a half, but... Right, it takes a long time to get started, though.
Excuse me, Mr. Freeman. Can I get your autograph? That final putt on the last day of the Masters, man, that was poetry. Oh, poetry? Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Freeman. Thanks a lot.
Why can't I just leave us? You told me this was a trip away from golf and everything that goes with it.
I know, and it is. I promise that for the rest of the trip.
She's mad that somebody asks her husband for an autograph. It's like, bro, you can't help that. Apparently, he's a famous golfer, so people are going to recognize him.
Excuse me, Mr. Captain Bashore would love to meet you. When he has a break later in the flight, would you mind if he stops by for a visit?
Yeah, it's not.
You know, while you're at it, if that money over my husband, I'd love to get there.
What about your vacation? I'll get you drinks right away, Mrs.
Yeah, make sure you put some vodka in this time. 'Cause that's how I like to tee off.
I thought he was meant to be Tiger Woods. No, I don't think this film could afford Tiger Woods. They had to settle for Lima Woods, I guess. I don't know. Tiger Plastic.
It's a little last night.
You know you've got the wrong man.
Yeah, that's why Interpol has your control over the internet.
It's a classic case of mistaken identity.
Puma Forest. This guy, and it's not the actor, but there's an actor called I've forgotten his name right now, but he was in Sons of Anarchy, and before that he was in The Shield. He had a small part in Sons of Anarchy, but quite a large part in The Shield. Shane Vendrell, he played in The Shield. He looks like that guy. It's not him. I know it's not him. I'm just saying he looks like that guy. But I can't remember that guy's name right now. Let me try and find it real quick. Shane Vendrell. Was it Shane Vendrell? Walton Goggins, that was it. Yeah, if you know Walton Goggins, that's who he looks like. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's the forehead. Yep. Imagine being on an airplane and there's an outbreak of zombies on there, though. That's crazy. Because you literally got nowhere to go. No matter how big that plane is, you got nowhere to go. That reminds me, by the way. Do you guys see that the clip going around from I guess it's from a podcast as well, or some kind of interview show, where this woman is saying that people shouldn't use phrases like beat the pussy up or murder the pussy when talking about sex, because she feels like it encourages violence towards women. You guys see that clip? This woman was mad, well, impassioned, shall we say, about the whole thing, about when people say, man, I'm going to beat that pussy up. She didn't like it at all. She was like, she says it encourages, we shouldn't talk about it in such violent ways because it encourages or normalizes violence towards women. That's what she said. This guy, by the way, he's not on screen right now. No, it was on TikTok or something. It probably was on TikTok. I saw it on Instagram, and I saw there was a YouTube channel that talked about it as well. But yeah, probably was on TikTok. Pretty much everything's on TikTok these days. Oh my god, these women today, for real. This guy, this black guy here, he's in a TV show called Space Above Beyond, which is one of my favorite TV shows ever. But yeah, it was like she was saying like, and the dumb thing is that in the same podcast interview type thing, she's also saying stuff like, oh, there's nothing wrong with rough sex, and there's nothing, and she even said herself like, I like, she actually used the phrase, I like to get my back blown out too. So it's like she uses these words herself clearly. And then it's like, but she doesn't want to, she said that people shouldn't say it in like songs and in rap songs and stuff like that. And it's like, bruh, come on, man. I mean, if you could understand that when somebody says they're going to beat the pussy up or whatever it is, they're not actually talking about putting on some boxing gloves, and, punching you in the vagina. You understand that, right? You understand the colloquialisms being used. It's not a problem. Like, if there's a miscommunication, then yeah, I could see how maybe that could be an issue. But as long as the two people involved understand the language being used, what is the problem? And if you're writing songs, people can sing about things that they want to sing about. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, so are you saying people can't sing about that in a way that's comfortable to them? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, all I know is this. I know that at my age, I'm not exactly in my prime anymore. I know that. I can accept that. I know that, I'm not like, oh, I'm the best when it comes to making love all night. I know that. But here's what I do know. What up, Brax? Here's what I do know. I'm a pretty healthy dude, I reckon, pretty relatively healthy. I stay active, eat healthy food, stuff like that. So I reckon I could say this with pretty decent certainty that the next woman I'm with, whenever that may be, whether today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whenever it may be, maybe even when I'm like 90, 95 years old, wherever it may be, the next woman I'm with, that pussy's getting destroyed. That's what I know. That's what I know. That is getting destroyed. Like, I don't care if I have to tie a lollipop stick to my cock. You know what I mean? To keep it straight. I don't care. I don't care if I have to take 2 pills of Viagra. I don't care. Whatever I got to do, that pussy getting destroyed. That's what I know. That's what I know. Yo, Fly to the Living Dead. Yeah, that's what we're watching. Okay, we've got boxing gloves. Have a moment to join the stream. For real. Hey, that's how we do it here, man. Watch movies and talk about stuff. Yeah, I was trying. So yeah, it was Brax that recommended it. Then my bad. I was trying to remember who. I knew somebody recommended this movie, and I was trying to remember who recommended it because I don't write the names down of who recommends the movies. And I was like, I thought it was Sam because it was a horror movie, but then it wasn't. So I was like, okay, it was Braxton. Big up Braxton for this recommendation. He lied about not shooting. Doing alright, managing as usual, and you are. That's good to hear, Brax. Yeah, I'm recommending. Nice. I actually watched this movie a few weeks ago, so I've seen this before now. I was watching it again on stream. I thought it was a public domain film. We'll try to watch it. I tried to show the movie, but there was issues there, so we put this thing up so it doesn't get blocked again. Because apparently it's not public domain, at least not as far as YouTube is concerned.
Okay. Hey, will you grab me a Diet Coke on the way back? Thanks, babe.
Alright, glad you're okay. Awesome. Awesome. I might have to do like a TikTok stream one of these days, because TikTok is wild. I don't know if y'all know this, but TikTok can be wild. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of cool stuff on TikTok. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool, talented, funny, all of that, right? But TikTok can get wild. So yeah, I feel like one of these days, maybe even next week actually, we have to do like a TikTok live stream and go deep in the depths of the TikTok world. See what kind of wild, cringy things we could find there. Cool, good that you are, and yeah. Told you it was Brax. I decided to argue with myself. Did I recommend it? Sam was like, I don't recommend this movie. Or did I? It looks like the type of thing I would recommend. Nah, I didn't recommend this movie. Have I seen this movie? I haven't seen this movie. Have I seen this movie? Nah. I think I have, you know. No, I haven't. Did I recommend this movie? Nah. I got a bunch of movies. So here's what. Let me see if I got this right. So I've got a few movies I've written down. Mississippi Burning, Ghosts of Mississippi, Rosewood. Those were recommended by Braxton, right? Those 3 movies recommended by Brax. Rubber, Martyrs, French version. All Hallows Eve, Killer Weekend, and Adventures in Babysitting were recommended by Sam. Have I got that right? I think I got that right. I think. That was pretty much what's going on in my head. Yeah, I recommend those 3. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can do some movie nights with these recommendations, actually. The Babysit movie was not... Oh, that wasn't new. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry, Sam. Who recommended Babysitting then? Adventures of Babysitting. Did you recommend that, Brax? No, you know, you just said you did those 3 movies, so no, it wasn't. No. You recommend Adventures in Babysitting then? Maybe that was Ken then. Maybe that was Ken.
However, I do like the shirt. Does it come in a man style? And for your information,
Today's MLK Day, Martin Luther King, so schools are out for the day. Oh, that, you know what? I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media about Martin Luther King, actually, so I guess that makes sense. That's MLK Day. Okay, cool. That could be Ken. I should probably write down the names of the people who recommend the movies as well. That might help. It just might. So how you feel about Martin Luther King Day, Braxton? Because it feels like there's a lot of different opinions on that, it seems, according to the social medias. We don't have Martin Luther King Day over here, so I guess I don't feel no particular way about it myself, but how is it for you? If you don't mind saying, of course. If you'd rather not say it, it's cool. I get it. Nah, not the Babysitting. Didn't recommend that one. Okay, that might be Ken then. And if not Ken, then I'm sorry to whoever recommend that to me. I should write the names down. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna descend a little.
Let's find out.
This is Randy.
It's Stacy. I think some of the passengers might have been hurt.
How bad?
I don't know. It's a mess down here.
Well, we'll do the best we can. Just stand by.
It's a mess, she said. And that flight attendant's paying still, though. Just saying.
Let me know what's what.
Maybe not say too much, because I ain't trying to get myself in trouble, but she is paying, bruv. Over in the UK, we don't have Martin Luther King. What we got instead is Boris Johnson. Yeah, I don't think we can compare those two, though. I don't think we can compare those two. I think they're very, very, very different people. Nothing to Campbell. I've not liked a single recommendation he has made yet. Not one? Okay. That's interesting. What did he recommend, actually? He recommended, there was that one that we watched on stream. I think a few of it is we watched on stream, actually, because a lot of them were probably the main movies. But there was that one about, I can't remember what they called anymore. But yeah, there was like some girls who were naked. Pretty much all I remember, to be honest with you. Very different people indeed, yep. Oscar, go ahead. And for me, it's great because it's fair game. Columbus has a day, so MLK should too. So, along with Black History Month coming in February. Okay, cool. Yeah, Columbus Day, that seems to be quite controversial as well in the United States, according to according to the Twitters and the Instagram posts, at least anyway. I'm like, okay, I sees ya.
Right. Well, wherever's going, maybe by that exit door. Usually takes a few minutes to get down there, and there's no easy way to go.
Only thing Boris is good at. Is he good at partying though?
Hey, calm down.
I mean, he might like to party. Don't mean he's good at it. Because that party sounded boring, to be honest with you. Like, what was it, cheese and wine or whatever? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. They definitely should not have been doing it. I ain't saying that, but bruh, that sounds like a boring party. Like, imagine going to a party that's just cheese and wine. And I don't drink, so for me it's just cheese. You know what I mean? This is like you tempt up. And I like cheese. Don't get me wrong. I like cheese. But at a party, come on. I saw this clip from, I guess it was a news show or something like that, and it was really sad actually, because the guy was just talking about how, you know, he's followed the rules to the T, you know, as best as he could because of the whole situation. He talked about not being able to see his daughter who got sick because of all the rules that were in place. His daughter ended up dying, and you know, they weren't able to see her, and all the while, you know, these guys are off partying with their cheese and wine, and it's like, bruh.
Come on, let's go.
I don't know, I like cheese. I mean, I like cheese too, I'm just saying. At a party though? At a party? Cheese? At a party? I'm just saying, if I'm at a party, I want cake. Okay? I want cake, kebabs, crisps, and cake. Like more cake. I want more cake. I want lots of cake at a party. That's the type of party I want. I want cake. When you get older, like people, I remember like there's a point where like when you start and get into your 20s, right? And people kind of laugh at the idea of going to a party that has like cake and orange juice. But I think that you get a little bit older and you kind of like, actually, cake and orange juice sounds like a good party. You know, that sounds like a real good party. Cake and orange juice. I'll go to a cake and orange juice party long before I go to a cheese and wine party. Especially because I don't drink anyway. I mean, I like cheese, but not enough to turn down cake and orange juice. You know what I mean? That's like, if I had a choice between cake and orange juice party or a cheese party, it's going to be the cake and orange juice party. Easily. Like, I like cheese, but not as much as like cake and orange juice. Like, it's going to be cake and orange juice. I'm at that party. The only issue, it would be that a party that has cake and orange juice most likely is a kid's party. So I'd have to be either hired to be there, like hired as a clown or something to turn up. Because I don't know if I could just go to a party with a bunch of kids around and be like, yo, can I get some cake and orange juice, please? Like, I don't think I could do that. It might not go so well. You know what I mean? So I'd have to figure out how I'm going to get the cake and orange juice at this party that I haven't been invited to with a bunch of kids there. It's like, damn it. Though MLK had his flaws and the civil rights movement being infiltrated by other people and movements, there's a silver lining because ended up helping all people. Yeah, indeed. Now, Martin Luther King, I mean, I ain't gonna sit and claim to be an expert on his life or nothing, but yeah, I think he tried his best, at least, you know, from what we know, is that he tried his best to create and promote this idea of sort of unity and you know, peace amongst men and women, and equality. And yeah, he had his flaws. Nobody's perfect, right? But yeah, he did He did the best he can with the 24 hours in a day that he had. Cheese and wine at a party. Does kind of suck, to be honest. Yeah, didn't you have the sausage cheese thingy on a cocktail? Sausage cheese thingy. I was going to do birthday cake and party food for Holly's birthday, but she wanted pizza and cake. Ooh, pizza and cake sounds good, actually. I don't know. Do I want cake and orange juice, or do I want pizza and cake? See, cake and orange juice is a good idea because you got orange juice to wash it down with. But then I think I like pizza more than I like orange juice. But then pizza and cake? Boy, they're going to take a massive shit afterwards. Like, that's going to be a big, massive doo-doo you're taking afterwards. Like, that's going to rip your bum hole apart. You know what I mean? That's the type of dude that will literally rip your bum hole apart if you eat cake and pizza and cake. Like, that's not going to be fun on the way out. It's going to be great on the way in. I don't feel it's going to be fun on the way out. So, ooh, that's a lot to consider. Do I have cake, the epicness of pizza and cake, even though I know it's going to be followed by a brutal exit? Or do I go with the cake and orange juice, which, you know, still pretty good, maybe not as good, but, you know, it'd be a easier digestion. Oof, that's a tough one, man. Let me do a poll. Let's see what the village says. I feel like this could be an interesting discussion. Cake and orange juice. Cake and pizza. Even though Columbus didn't really discover America, I'm glad my ancestors were brought over here. Besides enslavement, but hey, happened just because I love being an American. Yeah, that's like, I feel like a lot of people feel that way as well, in terms of you accept that, you know, slavery's not good, right? But at the same time, it's like, you know, if you live in a place where you, generally speaking, like where you live, it's the end result of something. I mean, sure, that's not what they intended when they were bringing people over. We know that. It wasn't like they were like, you know, we're gonna enslave a bunch of people because a few hundred years later people are gonna have a good life. It's like that wasn't the reason. So you understand that, right? But at the same time, it's like, had that not happened, would you be there? You know, maybe not. Who knows, right? But what we do know is that it did happen, and here you are, and you're living a life that, you know, you enjoy. It has its problems, sure, like everything else, and there's things that you think could be better and this, that, and the other, but overall, you like where you live. And I think there's a lot of people who feel like that. Maybe not a lot of people who admit it, though, I'd imagine. I'm not sure a lot of people who admit it, but I think there's a lot of people who do feel like that. It's like, yeah, slavery was horrible. But if it wasn't for that. But I guess it's all relative, though, because if it never happened, and let's say, you know, I don't know, your family stayed on the African continent and you just lived life there, I guess it's all relative in the sense that you wouldn't know any different. So there's that to consider as well. Like, had you been born in, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, Ghana, for example, and you lived your life in Ghana, that's the life that you would know. Would you enjoy that life? Maybe. Would you yearn for something else? Maybe. I mean, it's just hard to tell because you wouldn't know any other life at that point. But what you do know is that the life you're living now is one that you like. And it's a result or in parts of this horrible thing that happened previously. So, yeah. But I just feel like it's one of these things that people need to understand. Well, well, you clearly understand it because you just said it, but in terms of just general people, I understand that two things can be true at once. That you could accept that something is horrible, but you could also understand that just because something happened that was horrible, that something good didn't necessarily come from that, you know. It's like, for example, a kid who gets bullied in school. That's horrible that you get bullied, but that same kid maybe grows up to be, you know, somebody who's like really self-assured, strong, independent, and helps loads of people. Like, both things can be true. It's not to say that the bully is now okay and you should be happy that you got bullied, because it's still a horrible thing that happened. But at the same time, had that not happened, could you have taken the things that you needed to go to where you are now? Two things could be true at once. So yeah, big up Braxton for saying that, man, for adding a little nuance to a conversation. Do like pork scratchings. What are pork scratchings? I've never tried pork scratchings. I mean, is it literally just like just pork? I mean, I'm guessing it's from a pig, right? I really don't know, but it looks to me, from when I've seen it, it looks like shaved pig skin, like or I don't know, like I'm also Poirot Boris doesn't sound much fun either. I don't know, man. Yeah, he's probably. Imagine Boris trying to back it up, though. Imagine Boris and Priti Patel trying to dutty wine. That's what goes on at the cheese and wine party. Priti Patel just dutty whining with Boris Johnson. American blue, Swiss, cheddar, mozzarella, my favorite cheeses. Out of those, I think I've only had cheddar and mozzarella. Have I had Swiss cheese? I'm not sure. I might have. Actually, no, I have had blue cheese, actually. I have had blue cheese. Have I had blue cheese? I think I've had blue cheese. Let's have our own party. Pizza, cake, orange juice, and JD. You can make the same argument about Hitler. Yeah, he was evil, but he had a hand in how we live today with innovations. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But it's like it's the nuance of the humanity, is that a person can do some truly horrible things. That very same person could do some truly amazing, wonderful things, you know. And we see like examples of that a lot, I guess, where if you know somebody who is like really horrible to you, but everybody else says they're a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like two things can be true at once. And you may only see that person when they're in a bad mood or when they're just being an arsehole. And for some reason, everyone else sees them when they're in a much better mood and being a really, really nice person. But because they're so horrible to you, when you tell people that, oh, this guy's such an arsehole, he's such a horrible person, they're like, nah, he's the greatest guy, man, he said something like that. And then you makes you look like you're the one with the problem. And it's just that this person is horrible to you when no one else is around. But when everyone else is around, or to other people, it's the nicest person ever. And it's like, two things can be true at once. Let's get the party started. Then I'll be drinking coffee though. Oh, speaking of coffee, I had a yesterday actually. I had a latte from Starbucks. Was it strawberry oats latte? It was quite nice actually, to be fair. But I literally fell asleep like maybe an hour afterwards. Like not even an hour afterwards, I was asleep. And even today, like I had a latte today, just a regular latte today. And yeah, again, like I was like, had a nap like pretty much within a few hours afterwards. All this to say that it pretty much confirmed my opinion on lattes. It's not real coffee. It's just coffee flavored milk. You know what I mean? It's not real coffee, because coffee would keep you up. Like, I've had coffee when I've been tired and it's kept me up, right? The fact that I had a latte and I was like able to take a nap pretty shortly afterwards. Nah, it's not real coffee. It's coffee flavored milk. Let's call it what it is. It's this much milk and this much coffee. It's coffee flavored milk. Actually, really do seem like a good level-headed dude. I'll be drinking either cider or vodka and lemonade. Yeah, because my sisters weren't meant to be part of the country as listed citizens, and there's Native Americans and white mixed and Black Americans DNA. So we for sure ain't Africans. Yeah. Welcome anytime.
Yeah, it's Frank. He needs help now.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard at this point, I imagine, to kind of really trace, you know, your kind of sort of family history. I mean, I imagine you could probably trace it back accurately up to a certain point, and then beyond that it gets murky because of, you know, what happened during that time. And yeah, a lot of the brutalities, and just like you said, the things that weren't even listed, things that weren't registered, and just the way people are treated. And yeah, by this point, yeah, as you're right, you know, as people kind of mix and that kind of thing, it's like at some point, yeah, there's like it all leads back to, you know, parts of Africa. I think we could all kind of understand that, but how it links back is where it gets like blurry, because you can only kind of trace back up to a certain point, and then beyond that it's like, well, I know it started there at some point, I just don't know how it gets to that point, because there's no records, there's maybe different information and lies that were told, and you know, in some cases there were, well, people being forced to do things with people that they didn't want to do, for trying to keep that one PG, you know what I mean? But yeah, none of this is registered, so like there's a point where it just becomes murky, and then like you say, like there's just natural kind of mixing with people, so at this point it's just such a blur.
Yes. You sure? Thank you, Lieutenant.
It's weird how they say African American even when they aren't from Africa. Americans just scared of saying black. I mean, well, I guess Braxton could answer that better, but my understanding, well, Braxton can answer that better. Let me be clear on that. No, I think he can. You can answer that better than I can. But my understanding of that is, because I've heard people say things like Japanese American or Chinese American and things like that. So my understanding is just acknowledgement of an original part of the world and where you are now. That's how I understand it anyway. But I don't know, maybe that's naive and wrong or something. So.
Making this real exciting.
You know, Irish American, Italian American, you hear phrases like that as well. So I just figured it's a way of like acknowledging, say, your family heritage, and then, you know, where you are at the moment. But I think in America's the only place that does that, because I mean, actually, no, I guess you do hear people say African British or British African. I guess you do hear some people say it, but it's maybe not as widely used over here. So it's not, yeah, I guess it does happen, but yeah, and maybe not as much. It's important to learn from, so we don't repeat the same mistakes, but some people are still stuck in history without actually learning. Yep. I do whatever I can is all was that told in person on social media. and goods to those who deserve it anyways. Best way to be. The African American thing came in 1992. At first we were imports, then slaves and Negroes, then colored, the black, and now African American, but now there's more names. Okay. I guess there'd be, you know, as culture evolves and changes and things like that,
Please take your seats. Everything's fine.
people's, you know, just general attitude changes, and we learn more, and this, that, and the other things will naturally kind of change along with it, and how we address each other
Total chaos down
sort of changes along with it as well.
there. Shot for it. Something that freaked out the passengers.
This chick's getting eaten.
Take the gun.
So far, everybody's voted for cake and pizza. Nobody wants the cake and orange juice. Not a single person would go to a party with cake and orange juice over cake and pizza. If you had the choice between cake and orange juice or cake and pizza, everybody's going with cake and pizza right now. All right, well, let's see how this goes. Let's see how it goes. We won't end the poll just yet. We'll see how it goes. Use that derogatorily back then, and people don't want to be misconstrued nowadays, so they avoid saying it. True, that's true. Yeah, there's a phrase that I've heard a lot. I'm sure you guys have heard this as well. People say "people of color," and as much as I understand how that phrase comes about, I've personally never particularly liked it very much. I've never used that for myself. I mean, look, each their own, right? And people could do what they want and talk about themselves how they want. I ain't saying that, but for me personally, I've never liked to refer to myself as a person of color. It just never made any real sense to me. But that seems to be a popular way of describing people. It just, we are people first and foremost. We're all human beings. Just trying to take a poop. Actually, trying to vomit, but still. We're all human beings. We're all trying to do our best in this world in the ways that we can. We have, you know, racial and ethnic differences, which is fine. You know, we are as different as we are the same. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging our differences, whether that be our differences in skin tone or where we're from or body size and everything else. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging our differences. In fact, we should acknowledge our differences, but our differences should never be the things that divide us. You know, there should be things that we celebrate to bring together, to come together. I just feel like the terms like people of color, that doesn't do that for me. That doesn't. It feels like it highlights differences in a way that separates everybody from white people. You know what I mean? It's like there's white people, then there's everybody else. You know, it's like, okay, so white people, you have like an identity, and everyone else just gets lumped into this kind of big bracket of miscellaneous. So it's like, I'm not sure this phrase is doing what it's supposed to do. You know, I'm not sure this way of describing people is the unity that people might think it is. It just seems like an ultimately a very, well, not very divisive. I don't know if it's very divisive, but it does seem somewhat divisive at least. So yeah, I'd rather not use that term. I'd rather be like, you know what? I'm a man. I'm a black man. You know what I mean? This is cool. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Yes, that was during the 1950s through the mid-60s, as far as I know. You weren't black, you were colored or Negro. Black was a racial term during those decades. I see. Yeah, I mean, I knew about, well, I guess I kind of knew about sort of Negro and colored. I mean, that's the, what was it, NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. So that's where that comes from. Well, it's not where it comes from, but you know, that's where the name was used. It came during that time. Yeah. Oh, this pen girl got bit. Oh, she gonna turn, man. They're gonna get rid of the pen chick. Yeah, well, I try to answer the best way I can. Like I've said before, shit, I'm not that smart. Hey, ain't none of us that smart. We just know what we know, and we know what we know, and we try to learn a little more where we can learn. And hey, it's all good, man. So I appreciate you taking some time to answer a few things, man. Big up Braxton. Big up men like Braxton. I don't even think of my skin color unless I'm taking the mick out of myself. If I'm having an off day and look more milk bowl that day. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's kind of like, I guess in truth, I'd rather not think about it at least not in that way. But yeah, I think it also, you get reminded. You know what I mean? You get reminded. Like, you could just be going about your day, enjoying your day, just minding your own business, and then something or someone reminds you, and it's like, jeez, okay. It could be like that. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if people do it deliberately. I'm sure it's not deliberate. Maybe they don't even realize they're doing it. But even still, it's like, okay. So I can remember this time. This is like maybe probably close to about 20 years ago now, which is a long time ago. But I was out with some friends, right? And it was late, probably like, I don't know, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was late, and it was like maybe 4 or 5 of us, right? So we're just like walking through the street, and then we see this other group of people that I guess they were a bit drunk or whatever, and that kind of thing. And they came up to us, or one of them sort of came up to us, and he just started talking. I can't remember what he was talking about, but he just started talking, and then we're kind of like just trying to ignore him, going haha, whatever, you know, laugh off it and that kind of stuff. But then all of a sudden the guy just says something like, yeah, one of my best friends is black. He looks directly at me. He's like, yeah, one of my best friends is black. And it was like, okay. And of course I was the only black guy in the group, in a group of friends. But this is one of these things that's like, okay, like, did not need to tell me that, you know what I mean? We're just out here having a good time, and you just did not need to, I don't care. But it could be like that sometimes, where it's like you're just trying to go about your day, just mind your own business, do your own thing, and then something or somebody reminds you. So it's like, all right. Sure thing, dog. Awesome. Gotta be a bit specific with people of color, because when you talk about a certain group, other people can easily be lumped in. Gotta be distinctive sometimes. Well, my understanding of people of color is that it just refers to anybody who isn't white. That's how I've understood it. Anybody who isn't white is a person of color. So it's like, okay, either I've misunderstood it, which is possible. You know, so it's possible. I'm not Like I say, I ain't claiming to be no genius either, right? It's just possible, but yeah, it just seems like I'm not sure about this phrase. My mentality, though, and never will. It's like youth. For example, we can see you're a black man. We ain't blind, but it's literally. And so what? Right? You know what I mean? It's like. You know, look, and you know me, I'm not the one to talk about, oh, let's pretend racism don't exist, and it's there, I get it. It's and it's an unfortunate part of our world and it does need to be discussed and talked about and figure out what we can do to mitigate it, of course. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, like I said, I don't mind talking about race. By the way, let me be clear on that. I don't mind talking about it. But yeah, it's just certain times where it's like trying to, just when people just bring it up in just the most awkward ways. And I imagine I'm not the only, I imagine I'm not the only, say, black or Asian person that's had that experience. I can imagine quite a few people have had sort of similar things happen where it's like you're just trying to go back to your day, you mind your own business, and somebody says something or something, and it's like, jeez, jeez, man.
When the scientists working on this, we're dealing with a serum transfer virus. This virus is without a known vaccine or cure.
It's other time. It's actually, well, I guess it's kind of funny when I think back at it now, but it's other time, right? I'm at this. It was a heavy metal gig actually, and again there were some friends. They're all white, and we're there. It was in a bar, I think. Actually, it was a bar or some kind of but yeah, something like that anyway. But yeah, so all there, just hanging out. There, got some bands playing, and we're talking to some guy. And one of these events, by the way, they usually, people in the crowd more often than not are usually in bands themselves. That's usually how these sort of smaller events go. When you go to like these sort of smaller gigs, a lot of the people in the crowd are usually musicians themselves, and that's kind of why they're there. But yeah, I remember talking to this guy, and he was saying that he's in a band. I was like, all right, it's cool. And he, I think he asked me if I'm in the band, and I said no because I wasn't. But I said something about music that I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said something about. I think I said I do music technology, which was the course I was doing at the time. I was in a music technology course, and then he just went and said, and he said something like, I might be remembering the story wrong, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we'll talk to somebody, and me doing some kind of music came up, right? And then he says something like, "Yeah, we could use somebody who can do rapping. We could use a good rapper in our band or something like that." And he looks direct at me when he says that. It'd be cool if we had some rapping in the band, someone to do some rapping. And it was kind of like, why would you know what I mean? What you just gonna assume that I rap? Like, you just what? You're just gonna look me in my motherfucking face and just assume that I'm a rapper. You know what I mean? It was kind of like that, like, bruh. Like, we're literally at a heavy metal event. By the way, we're at a venue, a gig, whatever it was, a night for a bar where they have heavy metal bands playing. We're at a heavy metal specific event. I'm there. My friend was in a band and he played. Other bands were playing. And you just go ahead and assume that I'm a rapper. Okay. It's like, bruh. For real. racism doesn't exist, then female privilege don't exist. There's still KKK members, skinheads, etc. around here. Just YouTube some vids, yeah, you'll see some stuff from a couple of, yep, indeed, man. Still rampant, man, still out there, still living large and in charge. Well, large at least anyway. I'm kind of in charge too, I guess. Some of those who work forces are the same who burn crosses. Yeah, you might come across some neo-Nazi punk rockers, skinheads at metal concerts. You know, I think to be fair, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that they don't exist. I mean, they a few of them, yeah. But I think to be fair, in my experience with going to heavy metal gigs, for the most part, people are pretty cool. Like, yeah, every now and then you get somebody like that guy. But for the most part, people are pretty cool, people are pretty chill. So I would say that generally speaking, most of my experiences at heavy metal gigs have been positive. So I certainly haven't had any like real bad experiences with like Nazis and stuff. I haven't had any of that, but I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to have not had to deal with that at least. I saw a video on YouTube of women saying to a black guy, "I'm not racist, I have a color TV." Oh my word. I'm not racist, I have a color TV. Oh my, why would you think that was an appropriate thing to say? I hope that was a joke. I'm guessing it wasn't. I'm guessing it wasn't a joke or a parody. I'm guessing it was a woman being absolutely dead serious. Oh my word. Some people indeed. Racist people to be front and center about it, like Jared Taylor, Richard Spencer, and go old school with Bill Connor. They can wear the hood and sheets, but not the mask. At least skinheads don't. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like, because sometimes racism can be subtle, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't like racism at all, of course, but when it's subtle, like, because when somebody's blatant in their racism, at the very least, you know they're being racist. Like, there's no ifs and buts about it. You know, you clear on the fact that this person does not like you based purely on the color of your skin, right? They think they're better than you because of you get that. You understand that fully and clearly. There's no question about it. But the thing is, and I don't want to say especially in Britain because of this moment, but I know it in Britain, it can often be very subtle when it comes to racism. To the point where it's like, I'm questioning myself. You know what I mean? Like, was that racist, or am I overthinking something? You know what I mean? Is he being a racist arsehole? Or am I just thinking about? Or am I just adding things in there that aren't really there? Am I overthinking? You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Am I thinking too much about just a typical average situation? When it's subtle, like, it can really kind of mess with your mind, because you're just like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the arsehole or if he's the arsehole. You know. And the worst thing is that I'm pretty sure people who do it don't realize that they're doing it. They don't realize. It's not like they're trying to be subtly racist. They're just like saying what they say, and it just comes out in this kind of subtle racist way that they probably don't even realize themselves. Then I'm there thinking like, is this guy trying to say? Is this guy? I don't know, man. That seems a bit off. I don't. And then if it's at like a workplace thing, there's one of these situations where it could be like, do I say something and then get known as the guy who's always bringing race into everything, you know, or do I just let it slide, but then it continues? Yeah. So I'm glad I don't have a job no more. So I'm glad I don't work in no office. All that nonsense that goes on there where it's like, is it me? Is it them? I don't know. That's just not good for me. That ain't good for my mental health, that's for sure. Aspect like heads can be the most welcoming. We go for the music and to mix with people. Yeah, I'll say that's mostly my experience. Yeah, a couple of my foreign friends assume certain things about me because I'm an American black, in particular, and some white people assume some things about me and didn't mean it in an offensive way. And that's one of the things as well. When people say stuff, they might be saying something that you might think is rude, but at the same time you recognize that they might not mean it in a rude way, and they only say it because perhaps they don't realize it's rude, or it's just how different people interpret things. So there's a lot of nuance that goes into this in those things as well.
The auxiliary lights. The auxiliary lights will come in any second. Oh, great.
You know, it's like this guy, you know, that I saw in the street 20 years ago, where he starts telling me that he's got one of his best friends is black or whatever. Like, in his mind, I can imagine he probably just thought it's a cool thing to say, especially, you know, the dude was drunk or high or whatever, something. But in his mind, he's probably thinking it's a cool thing to say as a way of bonding with somebody. For me, it's like, you did not need to tell me that, like, at all. I don't care. And he just made the situation a whole real awkward. By the way, the real and original skinheads aren't racist. There's a group called Skinheads, standing for Skinheads Against Racism. There's black and Indian, etc. Skinheads too. Yeah, I believe I read that somewhere or heard that somewhere actually. That the original skinheads, same in the UK as well, that they didn't start off as a racist group. It kind of became sort of that along the way at some point, but yeah, like the original way it started, like it was pretty mixed and diverse. I mean, it's probably, well, I don't know about mixed and diverse, but it probably was more white than anything else, I guess. But yeah, I remember reading that or hearing that somewhere. In fact, I think it's the same with the Ku Klux Klan, actually. It didn't, strictly speaking, start off as a racist group. I can't remember what the thing was, but I remember reading something similar about the Ku Klux Klan as well, that the way it started, it wasn't about, you know, hating blacks and gays and this and the other. It was just about something else. It evolved over time, sure, right? But it's not how it started. Group is called Sharp. I meant my bad. Oh, okay, so good. Skinheads Against Racism. Yeah, what does the P stand for then? Skinheads Against Racism. Now, what was the P stand for? Oh yeah, this is a bit. This brother plan's actually pretty intense though. They have to decide whether they need to shoot the plane down or not, but they need to get to this thing whether if they can get a message that said they're okay, then they won't shoot the plane down. He sounds for prejudice. Okay, cool. Racism and prejudice. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, man. Me, Bears, gay, and bi skinheads too. Oh, really? That's actually more surprising than black skinheads. that's actually more surprising than black skinheads. Alright, okay. Hey. I guess technically I'm a skinhead. Well, not quite now because my hair's grown a little bit, but normally my head's cut down lower than this. But I've got a bit of growth right now. I've got about 4 or 5 days growth, which is a lot for me. I don't usually let it grow. Actually, no. When was the last time I cut my hair? I think it was Saturday. No, it wasn't Saturday. Sunday maybe? No, it can't have been Sunday. That's yesterday. No, it wasn't. Definitely wasn't Sunday. This is. I think it might have been Wednesday last week. Actually, it was the last time I cut my hair. So nearly a week ago. So this is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, about 5 days growth. I don't normally let my hair grow this long. But yeah, normally I'm a skinhead. Same things happen with every group. You start something with good intentions, but the extremists take over and turn it into something. Yeah, for real. That's why it's important to have like sort of checks and balances, and you know, make it clear when things get extreme. Because I feel like when you see even like now, when you look at some of the sort of social grassroots groups that are coming up, and it's like they start off with, like I say, with great intentions, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm on board with that. But then after a little while, to say more extreme ideals and ideologies kind of get involved, and rather than people saying things like, no, that's not what we're about, let's stick to what we're actually about, rather than people doing that, what seems to happen is it's like, oh, they're on our side, so we're going to make excuses for them. And then when that happens, everything just gets associated with this group. And then before you know it, it's like, yeah, the more extreme voices tend to be the loudest voices, and that's how the group gets known, by the vocal minority of the group. Then eventually, if things aren't kind of taken back, that's what it becomes. You know, the vocal minority becomes a vocal majority eventually, and the group becomes this thing. And yeah, it's a shame, because like you see it like so many times with like these sort of groups that come up, it's like, cool, great intentions, on board with that, down for that, but then after a while it's like, bruh, you need to chill. You need to chill. Yeah, that's a bit unsurprising to me also, but shit, good for them indeed. Hey, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. With BLM, it's a shame really, because the fundamental message most sensible of people could get behind it. Yeah, BLM, I mean, yeah, Black Lives Matter as a statement, I feel like most reasonably minded people are pretty okay with. Of course, yeah, Black Lives Matter, like, and I think most people generally understand why the phrase exists as well, versus just saying all lives matter. I think people generally understand why the phrase Black Lives Matter exists over what's been happening, but I feel like there's an organization, so not necessarily the grassroots movement and the general kind of idea of it, but there is an organization called Black Lives Matter. And I mean, I'm sure you guys will know more about this than I do, but from what I can tell, from what I understand, the way they've gone about talking about certain issues hasn't always been, well, good. Yeah, like how that was turned into something real negative. Some people still see goths as Satanists, because that got turned into something negative. Started off legit, but now it's a joke. Wow. Oh, they say I support the statement, not the organization. Yeah. Alright, I'm full of words. Well, I'm black, so right, you know. Not the real agenda of the organization. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. Sometimes people say to you things, you support Black Lives Matter? It's like, I mean, bit awkward if I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I like to think my life matters too, so I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, the way the organization's been run, from what I'm hearing, at least anyway, it's not something that I've spent a lot of time looking into. But from what I'm hearing, it doesn't seem to be going too hot, and a little bit removed from what the sort of mission statement is, from what I'm understanding. Yeah, just check the website sometime if you haven't already. Let me make a note of that. BlackLivesMatter.com. I'm guessing this is the website. The official hashtag. Join the movement to fight for freedom, liberation, and justice by signing up for updates, supporting our work, checking out our resources, following us on social media, or wearing our dope official gear. Okay, now so far so good. Cool. But yeah, I'll look into that a bit more later. If it makes you happy. That's why I like this community. It's why I like this village, you know, because we could talk about all kinds of cool stuff, and whether it's something fun, whether it's something more serious, you know, and I feel like we can do it in a way, and I'm not saying we're the only ones, I know that, but I'm just saying I feel like we can do it in a way that is respectful and, you know, sort of understanding, and you know, we're not here to be like, oh, I have all the answers and I know everything. Blah, blah. It's nothing like that. It's just like, you know, we're all learning, right? You know, we're all come with our experiences and the things that we know, and we kind of contribute, and it's like we learn from each other, and you know, things like that. And I feel like, you know, we have like, you know, good conversations about things, and in ways that is, you know, kind of respectful, and you know, without descending into like, you know, arrogance and you know, all that kind of stuff, and trying to put people down. And so yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Big up yous lot, innit? Big up yous lot. And this dude on screen looking like Che Guevara right now. I actually can't remember if they managed to rescue the plane before, or the plane got blown because they didn't get to the box to send a message. It was a few weeks ago, and this film's not exactly memorable, so you know what I mean. I take no issue with all lives matter, but even I find it annoying when it's said as a rebuttal for BLM. If you really feel like all lives matter, you would have no right, indeed, and that's the kind of thing, isn't it? That's kind of thing. It's like, it's not that, of course, all lives matter. That's not the issue. It's more that when people are trying to talk about something, and then somebody's kind of like, well, actually, all lives matter. It's like, bruh. You know what I mean? It's not the time. It's not the time. It says her story, not history. It will mention about being against the nuclear family and shit. We are. Oh, it's been on the Black Lives Matter web. Okay, I haven't got that far yet. Okay, cool. I'll look out for that. You know, a good bunch of people here. I think we are, you know. I think we do all right. What is a nuclear family, by the way? Because I think that's like mother, father, and kids, right? What? I think that's what it is. You know, sometimes you hear these phrases, and you kind of hear them so much, you just kind of have an idea of what they mean. But then every now and then you kind of realize, I actually don't know what that means. So let me look that up real quick. A couple and their dependent children regarded as the basic social... Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's what I thought it meant then. I guess I was okay with that one. Nuclear family. So they're against the idea of, you know, mother, father, and having kids. Is that... I mean, I haven't read that bit, but is that what they said on the website? That's it. And wanting to change words and terms, just imaginary. Now, here's the thing about sort of families and stuff. Like, I mean, I know people who are single parents through various reasons, right? And I think a lot of them would say something along the lines of, yes, of course you can raise a family by yourself. It's not that it can't be done or it's impossible. It can be done, but you know, ideally you'd want somebody with you, right? You'd want a partner with you, because it's a lot. And at the end of the day, you got to do the best you can in whatever situation you find yourself in. Like, there are people out there who, whether it's because somebody passed away or whatever it may be, but you find yourself in a situation where you might end up being a single parent. And if that's the case, then yeah, you got to do the best you can in the situation you are in. And you know, nobody's gonna say, I don't think anybody can say otherwise. You do the best you can with the situation you find yourself in, but it's at the same time, it's not something that you purposefully seek out to do. You know what I mean? Like, you don't be like, hey, I've got this great guy who's willing to stick around and raise his kids with me, but I'm gonna send them away because I want to do it all by myself. It's like, I don't know if too many people, well, each their own. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying, there's an old saying actually. It goes, it takes a village to raise a child, and the idea is just kind of based on the fact that even, like, you know, two parents, like mum and dad together, are gonna struggle. Like, I know when we were kids, you know, we had like our next door neighbors help with like babysitting, and you know, we'd call them like uncle, auntie, things like that. And we had like our next door neighbor, Auntie Flo, Auntie Josie down the road, you know what I mean? Stuff, things like that. Then our other next door neighbors, you know, they will help us out, like take us to school, things like that. So it's like it's like a community effort almost when it comes to, you know, taking care of children. Like, it's so like, and that's when it's like the mother and father are together, right? So it's still needing help. So when it's just a single parent, it's like it's even harder. So yeah, I don't know. Like I say, like, end of the day, you do what you got to do, and if you're in that situation, you do the best you can. I ain't saying that. I'm just saying that maybe if you don't have to, right? If you don't have to do it by yourself, maybe don't, right? I'm just saying. What do I know? I ain't got no damn kids. But that was Flight of the Living Dead. That movie is now finished now. What y'all think of it? I would say that is a gloriously terrible movie. that's my opinion when I watched it the first time a few weeks back. It is a gloriously terrible movie. But let me switch over to this screen. Oh, that's the wrong screen. This screen. My bad. Here we go. Right, dude, that's it. I wanted to change words in terms of right. Still, the chances of stability are a bit higher with both parents in the picture in a patriarchal household. along with some good neighbors. And the 1st of this month marked the 99th anniversary of the Rosewood, Florida massacre. Oh, that was one of the movies you recommended, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, Rosewood, Florida massacre. If you find a guy that takes you and your kids on and they treat you well, you don't let him go. Keep that dude around. Keep that dude around, man. Oh, a girl too. I mean, if you find a girl willing to put up with your shit too, keep that girl around. If you find somebody who's willing to actually put up with your baggage, keep that, and not just put up with your baggage, but actually help you carry your baggage. Keep that person around. Keep that person. That's a good person right there. Somebody who's not only willing to put up with your baggage, but actually help you carry it. Keep that person around. Yeah, went on for 5 or 6 days. Man. Some horrible histories, man. Horrible histories indeed. Now, as we're speaking of this, actually, at the moment, there is something that you guys might have seen around. It was a clip going around. These Fresh and Fit guys, by the way, they just seem to be in trouble for everything because they just do some bare nonsense. But apparently there's an old clip of them that's been resurfaced where they're talking, and they're 2 black guys, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know, but it's Fresh and Fit, 2 black guys. And there's an old clip that got resurfaced where they're talking about how they don't date black women. But more specifically, they were like, we don't deal with the Shaniquas. That's how they put it. We don't deal with Shaniquas and the LaQuishas. We don't dabble in the dark. We're not down with the brown. That's how they put it. And they're not the first to say, they're not the first black guys to say stuff like that, that we don't date black women. You know, they're not the first to say it. It's been said before by many a black man that they don't like it. But I'm thinking about this because there's this idea of like preference, where people say, oh, it's just a preference, you know, it's just I prefer this, I prefer that. And I'm kind of wondering, like, I'm not sure that's it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I just don't understand it myself. But I feel like, because a preference is like, I don't know, like maybe you prefer a strawberry milkshake to banana milkshake. You know what I mean? But ultimately it's still a milkshake. But to prefer like a skin color over another skin color, as if that makes one person better than another person. Like, it says nothing about their character, it says nothing about their values, it says nothing about how well you can get along, what type of person they are, this, that, and the other. So it's like there's so much more important things about a person that need to be considered, and then to say, well, I prefer a skin color, like it feels like it just doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't feel it doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I'm not sure you can just put it down to a preference. I feel like there's something else going on. I don't know what that thing is. I know I've heard people talk about self-hatred and this, that, and the other, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe there's something else. You know, maybe it's to do with, you know, the relationship with the parents and some deep-rooted trauma. I don't know. But I don't know if we could put it down to a preference. It feels like that's not what's really going on to me. Like, in my mind, I don't know if you could just put it down to a preference, because we understand that a person's ethnicity doesn't make somebody better than a person of another ethnicity. And if we understand that, then why would you say you prefer one skin color over another skin color? It doesn't seem to make any sense to me. But yeah, they're not the first to say it. They just seem to be the latest to say it, or at least the latest that in a viral video that's gone around to say it. But as for myself, to the ladies right now, any ladies watching this live or any ladies watching this later on, I am down with the brown. I do dabble in the dark. I also linger in the light. I burrow in the brown. I yelp in the yellow. That last one made no sense, but I'm going to go with it anyway. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, it's kind of like I can remember a time when I was in school where, like, secondary school years, like sort of like 13, 14 years old, where I would say stuff like, I only date black women. I can remember saying, I only date black women, like. And as I got older, I kind of realized that, you know, not all black women want to date you. So there's that, and you just kind of end up going where, you know, people like where you're appreciated. Like, you know, you might ask a girl that she says no, all right, so you ask someone else that she says yes, and you kind of realize as you get older, at least I realized as I got older, that kind of attitude just doesn't really make any sense. Like, why are you limiting yourself to somebody based on a skin tone that ultimately says nothing about that person? You know what I mean? It really doesn't say. It doesn't say whether they're a good person or a bad person, whether you get along or you don't get along, whether you, and if you're talking about, say, long-term relationships, you know, it doesn't say anything about their values. You know, it literally says nothing about a person other than it's just a skin tone. That's literally it. It's literally it. There's nothing wrong with that skin tone, sure. There's nothing wrong with the other skin tone either. But ultimately, you want to be with somebody you can actually be with, and not just, oh, you have a skin tone that I like. I don't care about everything else. I don't care that you're a rotten person, but you got a skin tone that I like. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It really just doesn't make any sense. And look, I was like a child saying that kind of stuff, like 13, 14-year-olds. These are grown-ass men, like in their, I mean, I don't know how old they are, but they look like they're in their maybe late 20s, early 30s. And certainly I've seen like grown dudes say these sorts of things before as well. So yeah, I don't know if it's like put it down to a preference. I don't know. I feel like that's not it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But it just seems to me that there's perhaps some trauma that's been unaddressed, that hasn't been addressed. You know, something along those lines. Maybe they've had a bad relationship with their parents, with their mother, maybe, and it's kind of created this association. It's possible, right? You know, and if that's the case, I'm not saying that's okay, because it isn't. You know, if you had an abusive mother or anything like that, that's not okay. But it's certainly something that you need to seek help with, you know, some kind of therapy or something. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think people out there, I think, to be honest, I think a lot, I said this before and I say it again, a lot of us need therapy. I think a lot of people out there are dealing with issues that go back to our childhoods, you know, that just kind of lingered and they start to affect us in our adult years. And I think guys especially, we often don't acknowledge things because we like to believe that we've got it all together. It's kind of like the male ego that we kind of have and kind of raised to have, and you know, you're the man, you've got this, you're the man, you know, that kind of thing. And then the reality is that a lot of us don't have it together. You know, we are, you know, struggling with a lot of things. We're trying to put on this facade that, you know, we got it all down pat, but we don't. And then it just manifests itself in these ways where it's just, you know what I mean? We just come up with some foolishness like, I mean, a full black man talking about I don't date black women for like, because other women are superior. Like, what are you, dude? You know what I mean? Like, do you not understand what you just said? Like, to be in the body that you are in and then claim that other races are better than that. Like, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like, what are you saying? So yeah, I don't know if you could just put it down to just a preference. I feel like there's something deep rooted in a lot of people that needs to be addressed. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some Ghanaian in it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm somewhere in between. But yeah, something's going on. If I was single though, I'd probably tend to run. Run! Run while you still can! Excuse me. I don't get it either. I generally don't have a type. If you gel. Skin color has nothing to do with chemistry. Indeed, man, indeed. A mixture of things, since the world is tribal, a lot will tend to want to be with people from their own background, whether it be wealth, racism, culture, racial pride, personal preferences, etc. Isn't that racist though, to think one skin color is superior to another? Yeah. Indeed, that's what I would say. I mean, I guess I could understand to some degree that if you are, you know, one of maybe very few black people in the area, let's say, like, I don't know, you live in an area that's like 99.99999% white, right? Chances are you're probably going to date a white girl. That's kind of how that goes. You know what I mean? If you're like the only black guy in an area full of white people, you're probably going to end up dating a white girl. That's probably how that goes. So I get that. You know, I get that. But even still, to actively claim and go out into the public arena and publicly state that one race is better than another race, or one skin tone is better than another skin tone, and not even just saying like I haven't dated black women, or if they said something like, you know, the black women that I've dated I haven't got along with. I mean, that's just your experiences, right? But to come out with something like we don't dabble in the dark, we're not down with Shaniquas and the LaQuisha, like, bro, come on. I don't know, man. That's way off. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, you know, culture. I mean, not culture. What I'm gonna say, ethnicity. It's just, I mean, what it says, it's never been a factor. I mean, that'd be a lie. But certainly, in my adult years, I would say that it's not something that I've actively. I mean, look, if we're being completely honest, there's always the chance that, especially you grow up in a country where, you know, let's be honest, I mean, certain people are favored more than other people, right? And then you see more images of, you know, sort of white beauty than you see of black beauty. Like, that's kind of is in England and a lot of sort of westernized countries. Is that it's not right, it's not fair, but it is what it is. And then part of me does wonder, like, okay, so am I affected by this? Do I now have a image of beauty that isn't my own and based on the things that I've been told? I do wonder that sometimes, and I like to say that I don't. Hopefully I don't. You know, thinking of the women that I've known in the past, probably most of them were white, you know. But yeah, there's definitely been a mixture. You know, but yeah, I think but then part of that could be just the fact that there's more white people in England, you know, so that there is that fact too. So I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to say for sure with all certainty, you know, am I affected by this or am I not affected by this? I like to think that I'm not. Hopefully I'm not, but then at the same time, it's like I don't claim to be better than somebody else. I know that I'm just acceptable to messaging as anybody else can be. And when you get messages repeated to you over and over again, I guess part of you subconsciously does kind of take that on. But yeah, I mean, at least I'd hope like anything that I would outwardly say in public wouldn't be along those lines. Like, it just seems like a very a step backwards in how we treat. You know, one of my favorite channels right now is a channel called Mahogany Pink. And it's a lady, I think it's an American lady, I'm kind of assuming, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter anyway. But she puts up these videos where she talks about, you know, black women and dating. And she's very much an advocate of dating outside of one's race. Because apparently a lot of black women in America have like this kind of attitude of only dating black men, and a lot of the content she puts up is kind of dispelling that sort of idea of only dating black men, because it's very much limiting who you could end up with. And it's actually a very interesting channel, especially like as a black dude watching videos telling women why they shouldn't date you. Like, it's quite interesting, quite fascinating. But yeah, ultimately, I do kind of agree with that. Like, you limit what's available to you when you decide you're only going to date one particular race of people. You know, you limit severely what's available to you. And even then, granted, you're not necessarily looking to date everybody. Of course, I get that. But at the same time, it's like who you end up with and the people you're attracted to. You're not allowing yourself to just be in the moment. You know, one of the lessons I feel like I've learned over the years is that anytime you have a list of criteria that a girl must meet before you date her, and then you find that the women that you're actually attracted to don't fit any of that at all. You know what I mean? Like you might say things like, oh, she's gonna look like this, and she's gonna have this kind of hair, and she's gonna do this kind of thing, and you have all these things written down. This type of woman I want, and then you find that the woman that you're actually attracted to, and the woman that you get along with, and the woman that you end up forming, you know, a good relationship with, fits none of that. And I feel like when you stick too hard to these like lists and criteria and things like that, you just limit your possibilities of really connecting with somebody, because you kind of have this idea that somebody is just not an option based on some silly thing. You know, like, so what if they don't match a particular skin color? That does not matter. Do you get along with them? Do you have the same values? Are you, you know, wanting to create something and, you know, form a relationship and build something together? That's what's important. And the skin color will never determine that. Yeah, she's American, heard of her, but haven't watched her videos. She's quite an interesting channel. I'd recommend watching a few of her videos, but yeah, it's definitely a few things where you might have to be like, Well, for me anyway, I was kind of like, you know, let me check myself. Let me check myself before I wreck myself. And deal with the color, it's the character they don't want to deal with, so they'll go to non-black chicks or foreign black chicks. Chemistry is far more important than any list indeed. But yeah, that's what I mean. I could understand that let's say somebody's experience is that every black woman they've met, they just didn't get along with. Like, you say there was a bad character and, you know, they didn't want to deal with that kind of person. I could totally understand that as somebody's personal experience, right? But even still, like, I feel like you got to know that character isn't related to their skin color. It's just they just happen to be that person. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that every black person is going to be, every black woman is going to be like that. It's just those people were like that. So to completely cut yourself off from it, that's what I feel like. That's where it becomes like, why cut yourself off from something? Because if you say like, oh, I don't want to deal with toxic people, I get that makes total sense. I don't want to deal with toxic people, because there's toxic people in all races, right? There's toxic people in all, toxicity knows no skin color. You know what I mean? So to say like, I don't want to deal with toxic people, that to me is like 100% I get it. But that shouldn't be the equivalent of, you know, not dating a particular race. Because toxicity isn't limited to one race. It's like anybody could be toxic, regardless. So yeah, that's why I was like, I totally understand if somebody said, my experience is this, cool. Well, not cool, but I get it. You know, it's unfortunate, but I get it. But even still, it's like, that doesn't mean that every single person of that is going to be that way. It's just that's unfortunately the experience you've had so far. Chemistry is far more important than any list. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just some guy on the road. Toxicity isn't all of us. Yep. We all got a little bit of toxicity. And pretending we don't ain't gonna do nobody no favors. But yeah. That's been on my mind a little bit lately. Quite a few things been on my mind a little bit lately, actually. I don't know. I might make a video of it, talking about it, or maybe I'll just cut this bit out of the video. I think I might have said everything I wanted to say just now, so maybe I'll just cut this bit out of this video and upload it. I might just do that. Save me some time. Kill two birds with one stone. But yeah, man. What's the time? What's the time? It is 17 minutes past 10. Okay. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Cool. I actually watched Star Wars Episode 5 today. I plan on making a video of it for my movie channel. For those who don't know, I have a movie channel. It's called Haze's Movie Room, and I believe there is a link in the description. Please check that out. Where I post videos talking about why movies are trash. I take some movies, some of them are bad movies, some of them are good movies, and I talk about why they are trash. That's what I do with that channel. And I've been doing it for a little while. I'm trying to now, in the last sort of maybe few months, been putting out more and more content on it. Trying to be more consistent with my uploads on that channel. So yeah, I've kind of got myself like a schedule of the films that I want to do and the order I want to do them in. So hopefully I can stick to that over the coming sort of weeks and months and so. But yeah, the one I'm currently working on now is Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I uploaded Star Wars Episode 4 a few weeks back, and I just recently uploaded The Last Airbender, talking about why those movies are trash. The Last Airbender is a movie that nobody likes. The New Hope, Star Wars 4 Episode 4 New Hope. Lots of people likes that movie. I like that movie myself, actually. But even still, I talk about why it's trash. So yeah, if you like movies, check that out, please. Be much appreciated. Or if you just want to listen to a guy nitpick movies, then yeah, check it out. It's pretty much what I do there. I saw you shared my post on toxicity. Yeah, I did, didn't I? I did, didn't I? Let me find that post again real quick. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? It'd been in archives by now, actually. It'd be in the archives by now. Actually, where is it? It's gone. Is it gone? Or is it just far back? I can't see it. Where'd it go, man? Where'd it go? I can't see it in my archives, you know. Can't be that far back. Sure, it's not that far back. It was like last week, I think, wasn't it? It was recently, I'm sure. Sure, it's relatively recently. Saying it, is it? No, that's something else. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, I found it. I found it. I found it. I found it. Oh, actually inspired me to write that. A guy, no, actually, okay, no. Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader was such a poor action scene. I get that the original trilogy is really old, but still, hey, what you done now? People always rag on Phantom Menace being one of the worst, but the Darth Maul fight was awesome. That fight was awesome, actually. But yeah, that's the post I shared. So nobody ever wants to admit they are toxic. But the truth is, there's a little toxicity in all of us. We have all been through stuff that leaves a mark, and with that, some level of toxic behavior follows us. For some, it's small, for some, it's a lot, but pretending it ain't there won't do you any favors. Acknowledging it and working on it is where your personal growth comes That's where your personal goals come. Denying it will only make you more and more toxic. So yeah, big up Sam for that. And I share that, and hopefully somebody saw it. Hopefully somebody saw it. And hopefully it helped somebody a little bit. Because that's all we can hope for, is that the things we do help out somebody. We try to hopefully people can learn from some of the things we've learned and some of the mistakes we've made, you know. But yeah, the Obi-Wan Darth Vader fight. Yeah, I mean, this was 1977. They did that, so yeah, it wasn't. It's good. It is what it is. For 1977, I don't think anybody was looking at high-level fight choreography back then. It just is what it is. So yeah, it's pretty basic. Plus, you got the fact that you got like a bodybuilder in one suit. You got an old man as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, they ain't gonna be jumping around. But yeah, the Darth Maul Qui-Gon fight in Phantom Menace, that easily, in my opinion, was the best part of that movie. That was just they killed that one. Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul, really, because Darth Maul took on both of them. But still, that whole sequence, yeah. The movie itself was, well, Phantom Menace left a lot wanting, but that was definitely a cool fight scene, no doubt. Hey, what you done now? I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. By the way, and I'm also a rocker, goth, metalhead, punk, etc. Yep, I'm an alternative. Nice. Yeah. This guy's one of the most toxic people I know, yet constantly plays the victim. I think I know who you might be talking about, Sam. I won't say it just in case, well, I might be wrong and you might not want me to say it either, but I think I know who you're talking about because I believe you've mentioned it before, but I won't say just in case. But yeah. I think there's sometimes when you realize the toxicity in people, there's things that you take from that you try to learn from, and then you kind of might recognize it in sort of other situations that you're like, okay, I've been here before and I can use what I've learned to navigate this a little bit better now, and you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, rocker, goth, metalhead, punk. I wasn't really into the goth scene too much. But yeah, I was definitely back in my younger days more into that kind of like the metal scene. Well, maybe not the metal scene. That's not quite accurate, but a little bit of the metal scene. But it wasn't because I wasn't necessarily going to like all the metal spots. But I definitely went to a few, and because I was in uni at the time, the course I was doing was called Musical Instrument Technology. And which means you learn how to make an instrument. I was learning how to make a guitar. So a lot of the other people in the course were, in bands, and so that's kind of how I knew them. And lots of people, and plus it's uni. There's loads of people who are in student bands at school. There's stuff like that, and you have like battle of the bands pretty much every other week or whatever. So I knew a lot of musicians at the time, and many of them were into heavy metal and stuff. So yeah, definitely hang around quite a few of the metalheads. Went to a few metal spots. Went to see Pantera live in 2001. Awesome. So yeah. Oh, it's not okay. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Cool. I went to my first rock concert like 2 months ago. Big fan now. Nice. Which concert was it? Which band? No, it's not. No, it's not him. That's so good. Not that one. Somebody else, but okay, cool. Gotcha. Cool. Actually, speaking of awkward race moments and heavy metal concerts, so yeah, I went to see Pantera in 2001, and this would have been, I mean, at the time we wouldn't have known, but shortly afterwards they split up, and then, you know, a few years later Dimebag passed away. So this would have been amongst their last concerts that they did as a band together. But anyway, so this is 2001. I went to see them live. They played Brixton Academy, which is now called the O2 Academy. So I was there with, if I remember, about 4 or 5 other people, and we were in the pit, like in the standing area. So we got in the pit. Well, a couple of us got in the pit. I think the one girl was with kind of stayed back. But anyway, we're in the pit. And, you know, they're playing and we're all just rocking out, and it's just wild and it's awesome and everything. And there's elbows and sweat going everywhere, and we're just in it, just in the moment. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but Philip Anselmo at the time was kind of known, I guess, for, you know, during the concerts would just stop and like talk to the crowd for a moment. In fact, there was a viral video that went around a little while ago that got him into some trouble. But at a concert that I was at, you know, he does that. He, you know, in between songs, he starts talking to the crowd, and he starts off saying something like, you know, everybody talks about stopping black on black crime, but I think we should just stop all crime, right? Just like what about stopping all crime? And it was kind of like, okay, cool. You don't need to mention the black on black bit, but you could just said I'm against crime and left it there. But like, whatever, oh, cool. You know, and he could have just stopped there. He could have just stopped there, but no, Mr. Anselmo didn't stop there. He decided to carry on. And then afterwards, he said some other stuff after that. But then the thing that really stuck in my mind was when he said, when you look in the mirror, you be proud that you're white. That's what he said. He was like, when you look in the mirror, be proud that you're white, and don't let anybody make you feel ashamed of being white. So that's what he said. Maybe not the exact words, but pretty much that. And it's at this point, like I said, I'm there with like 4 or 5 other people. And all of them are white guys except me and one other person who's an Asian guy. So it's at this point, me and the Asian guy look at each other like, huh? Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, granted, look, most people there were white, and I'm sure most Pantera fans are white as well. It is what it is. But it was just like, dude, like, did you really need to say that? Like, did you? Well, we're all here having a good time. Did you really need to say that? Like, come on. Come on. I know where you're going there. Yeah, you probably heard some of the things he said. It like he's gotten in trouble for saying some stuff at concerts, and yeah, that was. I don't know if that clip. I don't think that clip went viral, but that video went viral. But there's definitely other stuff he said at other concerts, that sort of similar things he said at other concerts that I've seen later, and it's like, yeah, I could believe he said that. That's just, yeah, that's Philip. That's Philip right there. Is there? And I'm not a Satanist. I don't take part in the cult like Asian. I'm not depressed. I don't always listen to just goth or rock. I'm not white, obviously. I defied those stereotypes then. Yeah. So I think it's cool to just do different stuff and listen to music, different music. So I feel like it's one of the things that's broadened my horizons. It's like being pretty much the only black guy in my school that listened to heavy metal, you know, it was like that, and yeah, definitely got teased for it, you know. But to me, it's just kind of like there's so much out there. Why limit yourself to one thing? So yeah, listen to the goth, you know, listen to the rock, you know. And I feel like just different types of music, what you find is that there's so many similarities between, say for example, hip hop and heavy metal, that might not seem that doesn't necessarily seem obvious when you think of the two types of music. They seem like they're worlds apart, but when you kind of, you know, listen to the lyrics a bit more and kind of deep the lyrics a bit more, you kind of realize that there's so much in common. It's just a different style of, you know, presenting somebody's the way people feel about certain things, whether it's anti-establishment, you know, in one style of music that might come out as, you know, not liking your boss, or maybe not get along with your parents, and another style of music comes out as not liking the police, but ultimately you're talking about an establishment or kind of authority figure that you're having an issue with, you know. So I feel like there's a lot of similarities that people don't always gel together and focus too much on the differences, because it is a different sound or a different culture or a different style and a different this and a different that, but ultimately it's like people are just saying similar things just in different ways. So yeah. Some people, yeah, that's right. Some people just listen to Pateri because of it. Yeah, yeah. I just remembered the Karens are back at their tricks again. That's why the stream cut off earlier. Yeah. Those dastardly Karens. Of course, I could have listened to R&B and rap, then branched off into rock and other music, and also goth said, "Don't wear all black always, though it's the primary color." I've seen so many black guys listen to Nightwish, love them, and say I wish I was there, but and say they wouldn't fit in for obvious reasons, and it makes me sad. Music is art. And art is for everyone. Yeah, indeed, man. Indeed. But yeah, I feel like music, art, creativity, you know, I mean, what you connect to, it's just, it could be wild at times. Like, I feel like the types of things that you resonate with could sometimes be the types of things that you would never think you'd resonate with. And it's just crazy to me. Like, I mean, it's not crazy. I guess I could understand it, but it's kind of wild that even now, like in, you know, 2020, 21, 22, that people still limit themselves to this idea of, well, I have to listen to this type of music and only this type of music, and never really branch out outside of a novelty. You know, it doesn't gotta be that way, you know? It doesn't gotta be that way. Nobody says it's gotta be that way. And it's arbitrary, really. Like, I kind of think of it like, you know, let's say the world is this big, yeah? I think I might have said this before, actually, to be honest, but I'm going to say it again just in case. Maybe some of you weren't here when I said it. But let's say the world is this big. Let me get the camera a bit better. The world is this big, right? Now, if you live till you're 110 and you tried your hardest to see everything in the world, realistically, you'll probably never see more than this much of it. So there's no way you can see everything the world has to offer, right? It is what it is. Even still, when you limit yourself to, oh, I only listen to this music, I only do this thing, I only do that thing, I only do this thing, I'm not going here, I'm not going there, I do this and do that. You place these arbitrary limits on yourself, then you take the maximum possible things that you can see from this all the way down to this. And then your view of the world becomes so narrow. I mean, you're never going to see it all, okay? Sure, you're never going to see it all. But when you like place these arbitrary, unnecessary limits on your experiences and the things that you'll do, then it's like you take this to this all the way down to this. And then that's just boring. That's just boring. I think upbringing plays it. Yeah. Indeed. Indeedy do. The way we as raised. I think our childhoods have such an effect on us in our adult years, more so than we may even realize. Excuse me. I am a black guy, as a fan of Nightwish. Nice. Yeah, I do like Nightwish. I haven't listened to them for a while actually though, but yeah. They got some epic songs, man. Nightwish. What do you wish for at night? I wish for a good night's sleep. That's all I wish for. That's all I wish for. But speaking of a good night's sleep, it is 10:37. Nightwish is awesome. Yeah. It's 10:37 in the PM. So yeah, I think it's a good time to start winding down a little bit. But yeah, I am hopefully back with the regular live streams every Monday now from 8 PM. So we're still going to alternate between movie nights and just hanging out streams. But next week, yeah, I'm thinking we do a TikTok live stream next week. I think it'd be fun to delve into the wonderful world, the wonderful wild world of TikTok. I've been finding I spend quite a bit of time on TikTok lately. It could be well, it's a menace. Like TikTok is a problem. It could be a problem, but yeah, let's. I feel like next week we could dive into some TikTok. Maybe find some cringy videos. Maybe find some funny videos. Maybe even find some serious videos. But there's a lot on there. But yeah, maybe do that next week and check some stuff out and see what we can find. Nightwish fans can suck though. True. Oh, yep. Well, I think I shall be agreeing with that statement. My experience with Nightwish fans, well, there's a reason why certain videos had to be privated. I was like, man, I'm not dealing with this. This is ridiculous. And Avantasia is another favorite band of mine. Avantasia, I don't think I know those guys actually. Let me write that down real quick. Avantasia. I'll just check them out. See what they're hitting on. It's kind of wild to me though how anybody could be a fan of whether it's a band or an artist or any kind of artist. Like any, how can you? It's wild to me that you could consider yourself to be a fan of an artist, and then when that artist sings about, you know, their life, their experiences, and more often than not talk about things like, you know, being creative and love and stuff like that. How can you be a fan of somebody who talks about positive things and then be so negative towards other people? Like, that is wild to me. Like, surely you're hearing these songs, and if you're a fan of it, then part of you must be resonating with that message and maybe want to incorporate that in some way, right? Right? You'd think. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, you hear it in a song, you're going to do it in real life. I don't think it's that simple, of course. I mean, but at the same time, it's like if there's like positive messages in the music and you're a fan of that, then you'd think that people want to kind of take on some of those positive messages into their own life. But nah. Apparently not. Apparently not. Can't be a bit of cringe. Well. I got into an argument with a Nightwish fan recently. Oof. Check out their song Farewell. Okay. That is not in the results, so let me write it in. And if you ever do Nightwish on your channel, watch out for the fan base. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you could do a Nightwish song, and there's a pretty good possibility that you will get a lot of views on that video. And the temptation there, of course, is then to do more of those videos. I get it. We're YouTubers, we're content creators. I get it. It's like it is what it is. You know, the temptation to do more of those videos when it starts being popular. But yeah, be warned that unless you are absolutely kissing their ass every step of the way, Matter of fact, even if you did do that, they might piss them off, because they'd be like, "Oh, don't talk during a song. Wait till you've..." What was one guy saying? Wait till don't talk. Wait till the end of the song and then talk. It's like, shut up. You don't get to tell me how to express myself in a video that is literally about me expressing myself. Like, you know what I mean? Are you dumb? Are you like? It blows my mind, the entitlement that some people have, that you'll click on a video marked reaction, such and such reaction, which literally means that the person is watching something and presenting their thoughts and feelings in video format, otherwise known as a reaction. And then you're going to tell that person how they're supposed to react to something. It wouldn't be a reaction then. That'd be a rehearsal. You know what I mean? If I marked it rehearsal, then sure, give me pointers. It's not marked rehearsal. It's not marked reenactment. It is marked reaction. It is unplanned. You know, I'm not writing down my words first. I'm not checking a song. It is a reaction. But people be like, nah, don't react this way. You don't have a good reaction. It's like, shut up. So yeah, I like Nightwish, but boy, I ain't trying to deal with that fan base. It's just not worth it. One Nightwish fan, when I disabled the comments on one of the videos, came into another video and started lambasting me about how I disabled the comments, saying I'm saying something about I'm stifling freedom of speech and this, that, and the other. It's like, bro, listen, you come to me with that bullshit, you know, talking all kinds of nonsense and entitlement, getting bare rude in my comments. So you think I'm just gonna leave that open so I can see that every day? Are you mad? You mad? Like, I go to YouTube pretty much every day. Well, every day, really, let's be honest. I'm on YouTube every day. So I see it, right? I see it. I see the comments. And I could either ignore it, right? That's an option. Or respond to it. But the thing is, if I respond to it, yeah, then I have to go to that part. You know, that part of yourself where it's like you know, if you respond to somebody's bullshit, like, you let them know. You have to go to that side of you. And don't get me wrong, I will do that. But I ain't trying to do that every day. I ain't trying to go there every day. But if I ignore it, because the way YouTube works, it constantly shows you the comments that you don't respond to. So if I ignore it, I still see it. So I either delve down to the levels, to the depths, and be that wolf that I don't really want to be. I'll do it every now and then, because sometimes you got to be the wolf, right? Sometimes you got to be the wolf. So it's not like I won't do it. I'll do it every now and then. But I ain't trying to do that every day. I ain't trying to do that with every single bloody person that comments on bullshit on my videos. I ain't trying to do that. So it's either that, or just disable a comment, or yeah, ignore it, and then see it all the time. And it's like, now it's like I'm seeing all this bullshit every time I come into YouTube. So it's like, you know, let me just disable the comments and I don't have to deal with it. Poof, done. I feel fine. You're stifling freedom of speech. Like, listen, don't put bullshit in my comment section, and then we won't have this problem. I don't owe you nothing. I don't know you. You don't like my content. You don't like the way I do things. Hey, ain't nobody asked them to be there. So I was talking about, oh, we gave you all these views. It's like, please. You don't know who you clearly don't know who you're talking to when you start talking about we gave you all these views. Mate, I've been on YouTube a long time, okay, and I've never been famous on YouTube. Maybe one day I will be, maybe, but until then I have never been famous on YouTube, and yet I'm still here. So you can't come to me with, oh, we give you all these views, as if you think I'm gonna come running to you for what? For views? Listen, I'll go back to not having many views just fine. I've been doing that for a long time, and I'll keep doing that. It's not a problem. Take your views. It's not a problem. You know what I mean? Not a problem. I'd rather be around the people who actually want to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be around the people who actually want to be within this village, and not the people who just want to try and act like they own you or something. Like, nah, there's the door. Oh damn, didn't know rock bands had beef too. I know inner beef between bands members, but not with bands among fans. You know, for the most part, I feel like it's more to do with well, at least in this case, it's more to do with the fans rather than the band themselves. Like, the band is fine. Like I say, Nightwish is good. I have no issue with Nightwish, the band. You know, for what I've seen of them, they you know, their singer, their the drummer, the guitar, all of that, you know, they're fine. I have no issue with the band themselves. It's just a portion of their fan base is just very entitled, very toxic, and I'm just like, and they seem to be the ones that want to come on your videos and act like they own what you're, act like they own your channel now because they have large numbers of people watching your videos. It's like, bruh, that means nothing to me. It literally means nothing to me, because it's like, first of all, it's like they only watch those videos, right? So that one video might get, I don't know, 100,000 views or whatever it is. Cool. But that video gets claimed by Nightwish, so I don't get no money from it. You know what I mean? I get no money from it. So it's like, all I'm getting is toxic comments. So I've got a video with like a 10, 30, 50, however thousand views it's got. Cool, it's a lot of views. But it's like, they're not watching any other videos. They're leaving a bunch of toxic messages on my comment section that I'm seeing all the time. And then they act like they own, like they get to tell me what to do, and they open like, nah. Listen, I'm not having a video up where it's like I'm having to deal with all this toxicity and make money for somebody else while doing it. Like, what? This is not a good deal. And here's the thing, by the way, real quick. I don't mind a video that gets claimed. It is what it is. If you do reactions to songs or whatever, they're gonna get claimed. It is what it is. I don't mind that. I'm just saying, I don't particularly enjoy the idea of dealing with all that toxicity whilst somebody else is making money off of it. You know, that doesn't sit well with me. Then it's like, bruh, we're not doing this. we're not doing this. Nightwish is collecting whatever money that video made. Well, I'm just having to deal with all these toxic people. It's like, bruh, this is not a good idea. This deal does not work for me. Out on Nightwish. They're pretty good. Definitely worth checking out. If you don't know them, they're definitely worth checking out. They're a really good, really cool band. They do a lot of really long, epic ballad type songs. But yeah, definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out a lot of their live shows as well. Well, they do a lot of live shows. So yeah, they're worth checking out. If you don't know them, they're worth checking out. Things I got to mention. Dang. Rest in peace, Ms. Betty White. Happy 100th birthday to her. Rest in peace to Mr. Sidney Poitier. Yeah, they call me Mr. Tibbs. People are saying mixed things about Bob Saget, though. I didn't know of Bob Saget that much, to be honest. I believe it's a name I've probably heard around, but I'm not familiar with his works. But I've only seen positive things about him. But, well, I guess you've seen other things. But yeah, I'm not familiar with Bob Saget that much. I did see a clip that was posted on Talib Kweli's Instagram, where it was Norm Macdonald actually on a roast session, and he was talking about Bob Saget, and they was talking about the love they had for Bob Saget. That was a pretty nice clip. But yeah, rest in peace to Norm. Norm passed away a few years ago, I think, actually. I mean, a couple of years ago, a year ago. No scripted in my videos. Anything I say in my videos are made on the fly. Indeed, so that should be. Especially, well, I mean, depending on the videos, of course. But yeah, for anything that's like supposed to be like raw in the moment, like reaction videos are supposed to be raw in the moment, and yeah, that's how it should be. Yeah, just beware. So they're a good band. Definitely got a lot of great tracks, but yeah, If you ever do decide to do a reaction video to them, you've been warned. Just don't say we didn't warn you. Just don't say we didn't warn you. I'm not saying don't do it. It's up to you what you do. And like I say, you're very likely to get a lot of views and a lot of subscribers and that kind of thing. So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying if you are going to do it, you've been warned. You've been warned. I think I'll check out some of at some point just to see what happens. If you do start with Ghost of Score, yeah, it's a good one. If I get any stick, I'll just delete the video. One of his most memorable roles was a single widower dad in Full Metal. Literally, you know what? I'm dumb. I was about to read it as Full Metal House. It's just as Full House. I'm stupid. My bad. But yeah, Full House. I have heard of that show, and I guess that's probably what I've heard the name around as well. But yeah, he died shortly after Betty White passed away. And Sidney Poitier, all within the last few weeks, isn't it, actually? Yeah, I guess last week's Betty White, I think, passed in December, late December. And then Sidney Poitier and Bob Stagg, I think, died in the last maybe couple of weeks in January. So yeah, all within sort of a few weeks. You know what it was? I was thinking of, there's an anime called Full Metal Alchemist, and I've never actually watched that anime. But the moment I saw Full, for some reason I had Full Metal Alchemist in my head. And so I was reading Full, and I was about to say Metal, then I saw House, I was about to say Full Metal House, and I kind of stopped myself part way through. I was like, no, that doesn't say, it just says Full House. So yeah. It's the way my brain goes sometimes. Let me sleep up for a bit so you can read it. Yeah, well, we'll try and defend you in a comment section if we need to. Yeah, if you do it, and if we see any nonsense in the comments there, we'll try and defend you, Al. We'll try and defend you. Last New Year's Eve, and shoot, I never liked that anime. Shake my head. It was kind of boring to me. Full Metal Alchemist. Oh, that's the wrong one. But yeah, I've never actually watched it. But I've literally never watched that one. I think it's on. Is it on Netflix though? I think it might be on Netflix. Now let me check real quick. You know what I did watch recently though? Technically not an anime, but you know, is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Okay, so there is a movie version of Full Metal Alchemist that's on Netflix, but the anime is not on Netflix. I'm gonna go ahead and guess the movie version is probably not that good. Well, apparently the show's not that good according to Brax, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess the movie version is probably not that good at all. I'm gonna guess that, but hey, maybe I'll check it out at some point. I'll defend you. Actually, defend you too, Kev. Oh, appreciate that, Sam. We got some warriors in the village. Sam's got a rifle ready to defend the gates. At least to me, it wasn't too good. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people are somewhere in between. But yeah, I might check it out. They don't have it. They don't have the anime on Netflix, so but I might check out that movie. even though I'm gonna go ahead and guess it's probably not that good. Movies based on animes usually not that good. Like, I don't think I've seen a movie based on an anime that I've actually liked. Apparently the Death Note ones were pretty good, like the Japanese Death Note ones were pretty good, but I ain't seen those. So, but personally, any movie I've seen that's based on an anime has not done it for me. So, but yeah, you know, I'll check it out. I actually don't mind watching terrible films, to be honest with you. Like, I really don't. I have no problem watching terrible films because they could be some fun. They could be fun sometimes. They could be fun, but we'll see. We'll see. I did defend you, America. Oh, okay. I appreciate you, Sam. Sam had my back. I'm not sure if I saw your defense of me, Sam, but I appreciate that you did do it. Because I know I disabled the comments and eventually just took down the private to the videos because I just couldn't be bothered with it. And there was a lot of comments. So yeah, but I appreciate you being in there. Give me some support. Big up, Sam. Slasher on Netflix. It's really good. Slasher. I think you recommended that to me, actually. Or did you? Well, I didn't write it down if you did, but okay. Slasher. Oh, it was the seasons. Okay, the series. Rifle, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels. Yeah. Can everybody stop getting shot? There is so many things that I want to watch. So many games that I want to play. But boy, that time. Yeah, I did. Bruh, bruh, bruh. Yeah, let's get some, if we can, if y'all don't mind, let's get some F's in the chat for Sam for defending me against the Nightwish army and being ready to defend Alan should she need to against the Nightwish army. So let's get some F's for respect, because we need to respect our respect the ones that protect us. People. People. Keep on riding. Fine. There's a lot of Wrong Turn. I've seen Wrong Turn. Have I seen Wrong Turn? I think I have, you know. Oh wait, I think this is a remake. I don't think did they remake it? Because I've now seen a film called Wrong Turn. I don't think this is the one though, because this is 2021, and the one I saw was definitely long before. It was like years ago, like at least 10 years ago, maybe even maybe not. I can't remember, but it was a while ago anyway. So this might be a remake of a film called that I've seen. I'm not sure why you'd remake that film though, because I mean it wasn't exactly. Well, you know, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't. I'm not sure why you want to revisit, but anyway, apparently it got remade. I ain't seen a remake though, but no problem, no bother. Protector of the village. Oh. That bullshit nationwide needle mandate was struck down by the Supreme Court, but still some hospital might enforce it on workers. They can still band together to push it back. Yeah, we don't have a mandate over here, but there was talk of like, I don't think they're gonna do it, but there was talk about a like a COVID passport or vaccine passport or something like that. But I think that got scrapped in the end. It's a remake that's not actually a remake. It's okay, fair enough. Then we'll just leave that one alone then. But I remember seeing the original film years ago. I never, it was like, it wasn't terrible. It was just like, yeah, nothing too special. But yeah, we'll leave that one alone. Or maybe I'll watch it again just for shits and giggles, because why not? But yeah. I don't know. I feel like a vaccine mandate, yeah, I don't personally, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, I'm not against the vaccine. Well, you know, you guys know I got it, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, the idea of mandating it seems like an unnecessary step, and especially when you consider that it is still new, people do still have legit concerns, and the way the government has handled those concerns really haven't been all that adequate. And quite frankly, I feel like the only reason I personally was a bit more on board with getting vaccinated has less to do with, you know, the government and more to do with, you know, just, I mean, I'm not no vaccine expert, but I feel like I know a little bit about them, that I felt from the information that was available, I felt like it was something that was the right choice for myself. But the idea of just forcing it on people, yeah, I don't know, man. That don't seem like a good idea to me. Along with those so-called voting rights bills, were stops to voter protection bills were already passed in early mid-60s. It's a completely different film with one small reference to the original. Okay, it's just like that. We're just gonna use the name and then, you know, mention one thing, but we're gonna just make a completely different movie and use a name because we're trying to capitalize off the film's fame, even though it wasn't really that famous. Yeah. Exactly, it's a gateway for authoritarianism, especially over there in Europe. You see some countries going dumb over there, man. I was thinking of getting my booster jab this Thursday. I got a booster on, when I get a booster, it's 5th of January I got a booster jab. In fact, I still got my card. Yeah, it's too much light, you can't see it, but there's my booster card. I've got to cover some details so I don't get accidentally dox myself, but yeah, Economy 6, I think it's too much light. But anyway, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. You know, I did get a headache for about a day, well, probably less than a day really, but overall I felt okay. Like, it wasn't as bad as when I got the first jab, that I had like I had a headache for like 3-4 days. This one was only like a day, maybe less, and then, you know, I was pretty okay afterwards. And yeah, so far I feel pretty fine. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand that some people are a bit more hesitant, some people are a bit more skeptical, or some just don't want it. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's a legit option as well. I just don't want it. It's not about being skeptical or being hesitant. It's like, I just don't want it. I get it, you know. You just don't want it. I feel like that should be fine too. Have you listened to Chris Webby, Raw Thoughts 4? He touched on the mandates a lot in that song. I know about Chris Webby. I haven't listened to Raw Thoughts 4 though, no. Alright, cool. I'll have to check that out. Actually, I might have to check that one out. And some European leader over there, Ursula von der Leyen, wants to mandate the needle across the whole European continent. I can't get my booster yet. I gotta wait a bit. I was out to this. Was it the 6 weeks thing? They have to wait 6 weeks after the negative test. Was it? I think, is that right? 6 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that I've not heard about, the Ursula von der. But I mean, I could believe it though, to be honest. Like, yeah, like people just. The thing is that we have a government right now in the UK that tells people to stay indoors and to work from home and to only go out if absolutely necessary, and that same government goes and has a party, breaks all COVID rules. It's cheese and wine parties. So it's do as I say, not as I do. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people are not trusting what's the information that we're being told. A lot of reasons why people don't trust the government. I've never trusted the government, even long before COVID. This has made my trust of the government even less. You know, I have less trust in the government now. I was pretty low on trusting the government to begin with. It's even less now. But for a lot of people who were more trusting the government, even those guys are like, nah. It's gotten ridiculous. It's a point where they can't even hide their lies anymore. And more and more people just kind of waking up to the fact that it's less about protecting people and more about them making money for their financial backers. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the jabs don't do anything or that. I do believe that they help. But in terms of what they do versus what the government is trying to get done, it says there's an alignment between, okay, something that can help you and them making money, and there's always going to be that kind of alignment anyway, but it's more like there's more of a push for things to happen because they're trying to get as much out of you. And it's like this, it's just so obvious now. It's less about what helps you and more about what helps them, you know. And it's been like that a long time, but it's just, I feel like now more and more people are kind of realizing that. Now more and more people who had that trust in the government are realizing that. It's just what happens next, because I feel like there's a lot of people might get pissed off now and they'll still vote for the same government. You know, hopefully I'm wrong. But then again, what's the alternative? Because, boy, I'm not sure Labour are much better either, but you know what? Yeah, gotta wait 6 weeks. And motherfucker, the jabbed and boosted still worried about capturing it from the non-boosted. And jab since they're protected and the mask will stop anything that's airborne. Just saying, dude, the government ain't your friend like that. Over period, it's not about public health concerns, it's about control now. The government don't have your best interest, that's on. You said, yeah, 100%, man, 100%. And yeah, this whole thing about, you know, you can still catch it with the vaccine. The thing about that is, I feel like had they just been more upfront about it from the beginning, then that wouldn't be as much of an issue. Because here's the thing, like, you know, I mean, we know like vaccines can take a long time to really get to that point where they work well. Like, we're talking maybe 10 years or more before you can get a vaccine to a point where it can work as well as expected, right? As well as you need it to work. It could take a long time. These vaccines came out less than a year after they started making them. So you kind of know that there's going to be some shortcuts taken, that something was rushed, right? Okay, fair enough, it is what it is. Now, had they just said, look, we made these vaccines as quickly as we could, the reality is that they're not going to prevent you from getting COVID, but they can help to reduce the symptoms. Had they just said that from the beginning, then it could have been like, all right, cool, I get it. You know, I can still catch it, but at the very least, I might not need to go to hospital, or I won't feel as bad, and this, that, and the third. You understand it better. But because they're trying to, from the jump, they're all like, oh yeah, we're going to prevent people from getting COVID, we're going to prevent this, we're going to prevent that, and that wasn't the case. Then people started getting vaccinated, and they were still catching the disease, and it's kind of like, wait a minute. And then they start saying, oh yeah, you can still catch it, but it reduces. It's like, bro, come on. You should have just said that from the beginning. You know what I mean? Had you just said that from the beginning, then these things wouldn't be an issue. Because, like, if we know that, okay, look, we might not have a proper, fully working vaccine for years to come. But in the meantime, we've got this that doesn't prevent it, but it at least reduces the symptoms and, you know, means that you're less likely to go to hospital. Had they just said that from the beginning, we wouldn't have these issues. But because they practically lied. I mean, come on, I can't believe the people who made this vaccine did not know that. Like, that to me is wild. Of course they knew that. There's no way you could be in charge of making something and not know that it doesn't actually prevent the thing. They must have known that. So the fact that there were 10 people that prevents it from the beginning, when they must have known that it didn't, that's wild. But that's what they did, because I guess they wanted more and more people to jump on board and take it right away. Money, right? Money. And now it's like, oh yeah, get this booster. Money. Like I said, I mean, I got it, but because I feel like, personally, I do feel like it's still the best choice for me. But I totally understand why some people are like, nah, screw that, man. I'm Jack caught COVID. I'm negative now, but still having issues. I might do a night wear share reaction tonight, maybe tomorrow. Well, good luck. Good luck. Exactly. For a vaccine to be fully tested and approved, it could take 10 years, 7 years at least, and there's still no liability with it. Ooh. And do Ghost Love score at Iron Point. You want that? Whack and show, yeah. But yeah, yeah. I mean, my mum got COVID. I think about a month after she had the previous two vaccine jabs. Then she got the booster jab, and about a month after the booster jab, she got COVID. And it didn't do much. Like, it lasted for like 3 days. And during that time, she barely felt anything. She had like a runny nose, and that was pretty much it. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, you just took the test, probably wouldn't have known that she had anything. Like, and I feel like that in large, I mean, my mom's like 70, so it's like, I feel like that in large is because of, you know, the vaccines and the booster that she had. Like, had it not been for that, the COVID could have been a lot worse for her, right? So yeah, I get it. They do something. And I'm okay with the fact that, I'm personally feel like I'm okay with the fact that it doesn't strictly speaking prevent it, but it does at least reduce the symptoms. I'm okay with that. I just feel like they must have known that from the beginning. The people who made these things must have known that from the beginning, because they made the damn thing. They tested the damn thing. They must have known that it doesn't actually prevent, in most cases, it just reduces the symptoms. And that's fine, but tell people that. Tell people this is what it does. And then while it's doing that, we can work on a fully vaccine or whatever that, okay, that's not going to be ready for a long time to come, but in the meantime, at least you got something. Tell people that, be honest about it, and then you wouldn't have these problems. But bruh, people think about what makes them more money in a moment rather than what helps people understand and come on board over a period of it's ridiculous, man. Doctors and scientists still aren't too sure about the needles, but remember, the benefits outweigh the risks, so they say. Okay, I'll check out some. It took 2 weeks for me to get a negative. I was quite ill. I still don't feel quite right. Yeah, I'm jabbed. Can't have the booster because I have to wait now. Yeah, what's that one thing about the booster actually that I got, like I noticed when they were doing the injection, is that I actually felt the needle go in. And with any injection I've had in the past, like even with the previous 2 vaccines that I had, COVID vaccines that I had, but any injection I had in the past, you never really feel the needle go in. Like, nothing more than maybe like a tiny little, at the most. Like, but this one I actually felt the needle going out. I don't know if that's because maybe it was a thicker needle, or whether the guy just like wasn't really paying attention to stabbing me on with it. I don't know. But yeah, that's something that I noted. I actually felt the needle piercing my skin and going in. I was like, I can feel that. I was like, okay, that's different. That's different. I mean, it's fine now. It's not so bad now. But yeah, when it happened, it's like, I could actually feel that. Clearly, I think they've made it a must for people in the early 50s and up to get the needle like every one of them is gonna actually do it. I'll do what I can to help the comment section out. Yeah, we do what we can, but remember, there's only 2 of us. You might need a whole army to take on the Nightwish army. I'm just saying. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. You know what? It's been a while, to be fair. It's been a while, so maybe, just maybe, the Nightwish army have calmed down since then. Maybe, just maybe, they're going to be a bit more chill. Maybe you'll get all the cool fans. Hopefully you get the cool fans. But just in case, yeah. We'll try and defend you a little bit, but, yeah. There's only so much 2 people can do. I'm just saying. But yeah, man, some countries, like, bruh. Like I said, I mean, I'm not against the vaccine. I feel like, personally, like I said, I felt it was the best choice for me, and I think if you're gonna do it, that's fine. But yeah, I don't see how forcing it on people is ever gonna end well. Anytime you what's the word? Impart? I can't remember the word right now. But anytime you force people to do stuff that they might not want to do, and even if they want to do it, to be honest, it's just the idea that they don't actually have a choice. I just don't see how that ends well. I think you lose a lot of good faith from people when you take away freedoms like that. When you take away people's choices, you lose a lot of good faith in people. And right now, bruh, there's very little of that going around anyway. You really don't want to be losing more of it. Just check out Nightwish YouTube channel. They got 1.25 million subs. You know, when it comes to music bands, actually, the number of subs they have on their channel, I feel like that's not really much to go by, because a lot of people who listen to music, who are fans of music, are fans of a band, don't necessarily subscribe to their YouTube channels, right? And not only that, you have to consider that a lot of people listen to stuff on Spotify or other places. So, and if you do go to YouTube, there might not necessarily be people who just hit the subscribe button. So, like, when you look at a band, like any kind of band, really, the number of subscribers they have, whether it's in the millions or not, really doesn't say much about how popular they actually are. Like, for your average YouTuber, sure, it might say something. But for a band or any musician, I feel like no matter how many subscribers they have, whether it's 1 or 1 million or 10 million, it doesn't, I mean, sure, it's like, as it says, a little something, but it doesn't, strictly speaking, say much. Because Nightwish, yeah, 1.25 million subs, but you look at the views on their videos, way more than 1.25 million. So there's clearly people who are watching their videos multiple times, and they're not all subscribed to that channel, you know. So yeah, I feel like it comes, when it comes to bands, in particular when it comes to bands, it's like that sub number might not say a whole lot. But yeah, they are pretty popular. You may not have never heard of him. In fact, I ain't never heard of him before I was introduced. In fact, Sam, I think it was you that recommended Nightwish to me, wasn't it? I think so. Or am I remembering that wrong? I think it was you. It might have been you, or maybe it was somebody else. I don't remember. I think it was you. It was you, right? But yeah, until then, I never heard of him. So but yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. People could be super popular, and you're like, bruh, I just heard of you now. It was awesome. There's our top Mac fans. I can't stand either. Fandom is toxic. Yep. Sorry. So good. It was a learning experience. So good. And I'm reinforcing the needle. Good luck to them if they dare to try. You know, I personally doubt that we'll see any kind of vaccine mandate in the UK or in America and most European countries. I doubt it. Maybe a few might do it, but I personally doubt we'll see that. Not anytime soon anyway. If it happens, I doubt it would happen for a long time. So I think there's just going to be a lot of pushback on that sort of thing. Anyways, Avantasia Farewell, you might like that one. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that one's in my list. I have another reaction for a while. I do want to get back into kind of regular uploads, including reactions, hopefully by next month. But for at least the next week or so, I'm gonna have to go pretty hard with this cab thing. Because I have to go pretty hard with this cab work because yeah, man's trying to make them peas in it, and January is typically a slower month for a lot of things. So it's like, yeah, try and make sure the money don't drop too much. So for the next week, man's trying to be going hard on that thing, but then hopefully after that can get back to a more reasonable working schedule and be able to put out more content a bit more frequently and that sort of thing, you know. But what's share, man? What's share? Yeah, it's all on the people. Yep, all the people. But yeah, I think I know I've said this before, but I think this is a oh snap! Did I hit the wrong button? I think this is a time to be wrapping up. This is a time to be wrapping up. So I said that a while ago, but I guess it's a long wrap up. I hate January. Oof, it's a tough month, man. It's a tough month. But yeah, we're almost over. We're more than halfway through it now, so not too long to go now. But yeah, so should be hopefully streaming again next week. Do a TikTok stream, TikTok reaction stream. Check out some TikTok, see what we do there, and we just have some fun. And maybe I just might post a video or two during the week if I could get time to. In the meantime, you know, yeah, check out some of my other channels. You know, I've got the movie channel and just posted a video there a few days ago, so you know, you might enjoy that. Hopefully you enjoy it. Let me know. Find me on the socials. I've got the Twitter, I've got the Instagram and all that. I'm on TikTok as well, so you know, check me out there. So yeah, just find me. I've got all the links in the description. And but yeah, that's gonna be it for now. So guys, to all the talkers and the stalkers, to the stayers and the strayers, I appreciate you and all that you do. It is 2022, and this was the first movie night watching a gloriously terrible Flight of the Living Dead movie, which hopefully you enjoyed, or at least enjoyed our session of watching it together. And yeah, next week, God willing, we're watching. Oh, so yeah, do some TikToks and try and have some fun with that as well. But that's gonna be it for the minute. So guys, until whenever, if ever.